forged from the love of liberty in the fires of hope and prayer, with boundless faith in our destiny, we solemnly declare. Side by side we stand, islands of the blue Caribbean Sea, this our native land. We pledge our lives to thee. Here every creed and race find an equal place, and may God bless our nation. Here every creed and race find an equal place, and may God bless our nation.
Heavenly Father, we come before you at the start of this new day, giving thanks for life, for health, and the opportunity to serve through this station. We ask for your divine presence to guide us in all we do. Bless this broadcast, that it may be a source of inspiration, joy, and unity to all who tune in. Whether near or far, may our words uplift, our music heal, and our message bring light to those who need it most. We pray for our listeners wherever they may be. Grant them strength for the day ahead, peace in their hearts, and success in all they put their hands to. Cover those traveling with your protection and those at home with your comfort and provision. Lord, may everything we do bring honor to you and be a blessing to others. Guide our steps, bless our efforts, and let this station be a vessel of positivity and hope. In your name we pray. Amen.
Your voice, your soundtrack, your station. New Era TT Radio, NETT Radio.
Baby, I got what you want. Baby, I got what you need. I've got the remedy. Come here, come here.
Nada, shaking, shaking, cause my body aching. Nada, got this feeling, my body aching. Climbing up the ceiling, my body aching. Want some sexual healing.
whatever your body is aching for,
Nana got this feeling.
I am sure we will be able to
Aching,
prescribe something that can help you with that.
body aching, want some sexual healing.
Good morning, everybody. Good morning, Trinidad. Good morning to Tobago. Good morning to our neighbors in the Caribbean.
Nana got this feeling. Me body
Our friends and our family who are streaming all around the globe. Good day to you. And of course, thank you so much for being here.
healing. Me body,
This is New Era TT Radio, NETT Radio.
me body aching. Nana
The
got
heartbeat of the Caribbean. And yes, we take you above and beyond.
feeling. Me body aching, want some sexual healing.
It is a beautiful, gorgeous, God-blessed
Aching, cause
midweek Wednesday morning.
Nana
How are you people feeling? I'm hoping all is well with you.
aching, climbing up this ceiling. Me body aching,
Let me say much thanks to the Heavenly Father for bringing us together for another day.
shaking.
And all that we do, dear God, let it be a blessing unto you.
Nana got this feeling.
Yeah, I'm your true Sir Charles. Happy am I to be getting up with you this morning. Happy to be in the land of the living.
Sexual healing. Me body aching, Nana shaking, shaking.
And I want to take the opportunity to welcome everybody. Yeah, all of you. You, and you too. Welcome to the Breakfast Show.
Get up, get up. It's the time to start the day. The breakfast show is here. We bring in the soca way. Yeah, 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 yeah. Yeah, 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 yeah. Wake up, it's a brand new dawn. The breakfast show got the vibes turned on. From Morocco's Bay to the Savannah line. Let's start the day in Caribbean prime. Good vibes rolling through the air. The breakfast show, energy everywhere. We talk, we laugh, we make you think. Grab your doubles or your morning drink.
Uh-oh, guess what day it is? Guess what day it is? Huh? Anybody? Julie, hey, guess what day it is? Oh, come on, I know you can hear me. Mike. What day is it, Mike? Leslie, guess what today is?
It's hump day.
Woohoo! Guess what day it is? I say welcome everybody. Yeah, if you may be in your spaces, good to have you here on the Breakfast Show. We say good morning to IT on the inside. Of course, Richard, who I'm sure will join us at some point in time. He did not indicate that he would not be. And of course, to Wanda, who is here with us very early as always, regardless of wherever he is in the world, he's here with us. Mr. Stephen, good morning.
Mr. Charles, don't remind me, huh? Good morning. Good morning, Sir Charles. Good morning, Richard. Good morning, Trinidad and Tobago. And good morning, listeners and viewers all over the globe, especially our listeners and viewers in Japan and in Ethiopia. All right, special good morning. All right, that's next on my bucket list.
Nice.
You understand?
You're planning. I like that.
Yeah, I hope to achieve it before the end of this year. I hope to achieve it in October because, and I don't know if Captain Ron will be there too, because he's October born too. So I hope to go there for my birthday this year. You know?
Oh, okay.
Yeah. I hope to get out there.
Excellent.
Hope American Airlines flying out there. United, any one of the two. But yeah, good morning, folks. It's an absolutely beautiful morning outside. I went outside early this morning, had a banana, commiserated with my fishes, as I usually do, my turtles, and my orchids. My orchids are blooming. They look absolutely beautiful. Oh, yeah. And all eyes from banana skin, banana peel.
You know, that is one flower I really love, an orchid.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
I have some really nice orchids.
Yeah,
I enjoy watching them. It lifts your spirit. Plants and fishes lifts your spirits in ways that you don't expect, you know what I mean? Mm-hmm. And even the turtles, I mean, they kind of, it's so peaceful, you know? And they're so happy to see you.
And that is it. When it comes, they don't complain.
No. Not a peep out of them, Sir Charles.
No. They come willing to greet you and stuff, and yeah.
I don't know how people is make out with humans, Anyway, happy birthday to my cousin Calvin Strong, aka Dreddy. He is celebrating his birthday today. Today is a special birthday actually for him. Happy birthday, Calvin Strong. And let me see, I have a list actually, because some of these people might actually be listeners to our program. Michael Quash, Alicia Thomas, Cheryl Modest Allen, Susan Monique Sammy, Catherine Lam, Alicia Ramkesoon, and somebody who goes by the name Skinny Henry, Marlon Murray, he used to go St. James Secondary School, and of course my cousin Calvin Strong. All right.
Happy birthday to all you guys.
Have an absolutely fantastic day.
Yeah, beautiful. And if you're celebrating things like anniversary, something too, happy anniversary to you. I don't have anybody on my list today who's celebrating anything.
Today, of course, is the second to last day of the month of the first quarter. No, that won't be the first quarter. The first third. The first third.
Yeah,
So end of 4 months will be the first third. First third of the year already. April has ended already. And you know what April showers bring? Mayflowers.
Mayflowers.
Yeah. I was looking over at the road yesterday, and I saw when people approached in front of me, they looked down, and I said, "What are they? Did somebody throw something outside?" Because I can't see the road, the where they're looking at from where I am at my view. So I decided I'd go downstairs and I look over. You know what it is? The seeds from some flowers I have in a pot. Like they fell in the road. They blew out into the road and sprung up flowers, Sir Charles. If you see how beautiful they're looking. In the road, in the little crack, little crack between the road and the drain, those flowers grew up. And so I'm seeing people looking down. I say, what are they looking at? Because when you're driving, you don't really pay attention. And there's flowers blooming in the road.
That's how that is how they do their stuff. Their cross pollination. Breeze take it and carry them to other spaces and the thing. It's wonderful how Mother Nature works, eh?
Yeah.
and it didn't carry one, carry a whole set.
Yes. And those were flowers. Those were, you buy the little, you go in like in Lowe's or one of them and you buy these little packer things.
Right.
And you just sprinkle them and in a pot and they bloom. But they're forever, They go over and over and over again. You know what I mean? But I mean, every time they grow smaller, but still they flower beautifully. I don't even know the name of it actually, but it looks like a sunflower, kind of. But it's absolutely beautiful.
Yeah. Appreciate the finer things in life,
Yeah. I wish.
That is good when you reach that stage in life and you can really appreciate those things, That means you're not too busy with all the other things that are happening around you. You can take some time out, you can breathe and appreciate things.
Yeah. Yesterday I had a good day though. I spent a day with a good friend and we sit down and we drink a bottle of Apotic. Apotic red. And we barbecue. We grill some steak and some fries, and we just blag, and it was a good day. So I'm in a good mood.
Excellent. I hope they got some sleep last night.
I did actually, because I took my sleep gummies and I went to bed early actually. But I did get some sleep. I slept right through till this morning, 4:00, and here I am.
All right.
We
are here. So let's good news, and then we come back and greet people in the stream, start to deal with all the other things that are happening around us, right? So stay.
When we met Abel Mark on Wednesday, his frustration was clear, but just days after sharing his story on GBN, everything began to shift.
Hello, good morning. This is Mompio.
Abel Mark, who has been struggling to secure employment despite his qualifications, is now the newest employee at Mount Pure Spring Water. He has been hired as a graphic designer at the company, marking a major breakthrough. For years, GBN has followed Abel's journey from primary school to secondary, college, and now into the world of work. Today, he and his mother, Rona Mark, are expressing heartfelt thanks for that continued support.
First and foremost, the company Mompio for actually see me and say, yes, let me give my try, and also GBN for actually so people could hear my voice or hear what I have to say.
I would like to say a big thank you to GBN.
Now stepping into his new role, Abel says he's ready to make his mark. What does Abel Mark bring into Mount Pure?
My knowledge and on graphics, and maybe they don't see it yet, but I will see it. Communication and or speaking.
At Mount Pure Spring Water, the decision to hire Abel came naturally. Managing Director Rolanda McQueen says inclusion is part of the company's mission, noting Abel is one of several employees who are living with disabilities.
I'm excited. I think, we need to put kids that has difficulty into the mainstream. I have young people that working with me that has mental health. So we make sure that they go and get a medication. I have a young man who has Down syndrome and his sister.
And while this new chapter begins, Abel is already looking ahead. His next goal, earning his driver's license and fully establishing his own graphic design business. The family is also hoping that promises of support for a laptop and printer for Abel would be fulfilled. What began as a story of frustration has become one of opportunity, support, and possibility. For GBN News, I am Eugenia Peters.
God bless the owner of that company.
Yeah. And it's very important, that people, see through people's disabilities and give them a chance at, at doing things, at earning a living as normal a life as they can, because they're already dealing with so many other things with these challenges that they have. So when you open up that space to allow them to show their creativity and to give them that opportunity to fit in and do the things that they would love to do. Anybody having the opportunity. Yeah, I wish that people do more of that.
If there's one thing that could probably transcend this program and catapult us into probably, I boast already we are the best thing on radio on a morning, right? I don't, that's not an idle boast, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
But I think more people, I think if there's one thing, as I said, would catapult us into that recognition is our good news segment and did you know segment, and soon to come the funny segment. You understand? It makes a difference because it lightens up the morning, because you don't want no heavy morning. You don't want stress. We have the stress, we have the heaviness because of some of the news and the politics and so on and what's happening in the world. But at least a part of the program, we always dedicate to a light moment, to a good news moment. And we want to thank the people who would send us videos from time to time, who would send us some of these things. And of course, we always on the internet searching and trying to find things that could lighten the mood in the morning, and also bring a little bit of knowledge to you all, So thanks to all of you all for keeping us the way we are, and we hope as God gives us life, strength, health, and whatever else, because we ain't getting no finances, not yet, that we could provide it for you all. You know what I mean? Yeah. Well done, sir. Thank you, Sir Charles.
Yeah, no, but and just before when I saw that, I can't remember who sent it to me, but and thanks to the folks out there at GBN News. I suppose it's like a Caribbean News. I'm not sure which part of the Caribbean it is also. But I remember, I could be.
I think it might be Grenada.
Yeah, so it might be Grenada Broadcasting, something. But thank them. They were able to track the guy from his school days and stay with him, and now trying to assess. So that's so good. But it reminded me of another individual that I knew when I was going to school. Name was Desmond, and he had a disability almost similar to that, and he didn't really have a good life, and the last I heard of him, things had gone real south, I don't know what really became of it. I totally lost contact with him. But I that just brought that whole thing back to me,
Yeah, I think we may have all grown up with someone, if not a relative, with a friend or somebody in school, who would have had some sort of disability. And you would have, back in the day, people used to tease people and call them all kind of names and bully them and so on.
Yeah. People were really cruel,
Huh?
People were really cruel,
Yeah. But a lot of these people have transcended, have transformed their lives, and they always had it. They always made it a duty to study even harder. You understand?
Yeah.
Thanks, Joyce Phillip. It is Grenada Broadcasting Network. Thanks, Joyce. Yeah. So anyway, let's get into the chat. We have lots of chat this morning, and let's do it. Richard is not yet up. He probably added some spicier things to Scandal last night. I'm sure.
Probably. Yeah. Or probably stayed up late on the computer again.
Yeah, trying to master something.
Because normally that process is not a one-night process.
Yeah, I don't know why you don't spend some of that money. If you don't travel about the place like me, spend some money and hire a developer. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I hope you're listening.
He likes doing things for himself, I suppose. That's good. Keeps him active.
Hey, Robert Allen came in just before midnight, 11:49. Happy hump day to all listeners and viewers of The Breakfast Show, and of course the terrific trio. Eunice Dublin came in at 2:33. Anthony Tinto, grand rising to the breakfast crew and to all locked on. Suzanne Jessup, and that's from Suzanne, Suzette, Corrine, Mrs. Gemma, Maria H, Maria S. All right. Odell Guy sends good morning. Margaret Thomas, Kenny in Harlem, Manuela Peters, Subash from Woodland, Apollina's Ava Smith, Boy Bidesi from David, Diane Payne, Scorpion Pepper, bright and early this morning. What, 5:30? You ain't sleeping, woman. Marcia Rock from Orlando, Erica Charles, Marlon Motley from North Val, St. Maria Cillier from, she says, special good morning to her cousin Anthony Tinto. Yeah, Tinto, you never know, you might see me soon. Debbie Modest, Carol Guevara singing Happy Hump Day. Mrs. R is also up early. Ooh, a lot of people up early this morning. Robert Taylor. Robert, how you going, mother? Long time. Marlene Saunders Sobers says, blessed morning to the kings of morning radio and TV and to all locked on. Not sure who or what we humping this morning, but I didn't think hump did come back so fast. I'm tired. Nicola McNichols, good morning. Merle McCormick. Pamela O'Connor, Prabha Ramdial. How are you going, Miss Ramdial? Garvin Frank from Powder Magazine. Joyce Phillip, Carla Hercules, Claire Lendor Rollins, Kurt Hope from Nashville, Tennessee. Dave Gosine, Bernadette and Nelicia Yates, of course. Ingrid from Tucson, Arizona. Trini Merle Kitchen from Oshawa, Ontario. Wayne Ramsey from Fort Lauderdale. Valerie Mendoza from Dabity, sorry. Scorpion Pepper saying plants and dogs. Yeah, I used to have dogs, but I can't have dogs where I am now. I wouldn't have time for them. But I love dogs,
Yeah, dogs are really nice.
Yeah. Dogs require more personal attention than fishes and turtles. Margarita Chow, Damian Snag says good right. Damian Snag, that's a new name. Gan Rising. Michael Cadet. Damian Snag is also saying, didn't know Dreddy was your cousin. Yes, he is. We grew up as very close cousins. His mother and my father are brothers and sisters. So, morning, Damian. Julia Samantha, good morning, guys. One of the best midfielders you've seen. He definitely was. He definitely was. He might still run a little ball, but his knees ain't as it used to be. Yes, time is going. 2 blinks, it'll be Christmas again. Suzanne says happy birthday to her brother Julian Jessup. And that's coming from Suzette, Suzanne, Corinne, Karen, and brothers Dave, Neddy, Kenrick, Jerry, Gavin, good friend Miss Gemma, 2 Marias, Leslie, and Shafley. Ooh, I call everybody here.
Yes. Suzanne, you cover everybody this morning.
Happy birthday, Julian.
Happy birthday, Julian.
Dean Allen says, hi, everyone. To add to the animal view, remember they asked women the question, in the forest, you meet a man and a bear. Which one you choose? Majority choose the bear. Men got upset. I never hear that story.
I don't. Dean, you had to tell me that
Dean,
story.
where you got that story from? You make up your own thing now.
Yeah. Dean, I have to hear that. I want to hear that story. Yeah.
Most women choose the bear.
Yeah.
I wonder why.
In the forest?
In the forest, though? I wonder why.
All right.
Women only have to defend all themselves. Dean Allen say you all chose a bear over the man. Defend yourself. David McCarthy, top of the day. Katian Charles, hi, morning, Katian, and a special morning to Arlene. David Ware says, an excellent good news. I only hope our media can follow ideas like this. Sometimes they do, Sometimes our media would highlight things like this, but I think the difference is an actual program that follows up on it after, like how we do it here.
Yeah, you see, when you're tracking things, you have to really be dedicated to it.
Yep. Kim go via exemplary video. Trinidad Margo, good morning. David Ware says, excellent good news. All right, that is a repeat message. Joyce Phillip, that great news brings tears to my eyes, and it is from Grenada. Sankofa say, I want to drink. Sankofa, you're welcome to come at me anytime, I don't know I think you know I live in. Yeah, man. I stay home most Tuesdays and Thursdays, and that's what I do. I just relax. And every now and then somebody will come and relax with me. Brent Hackshaw says, good morning. Susie B says, blessed morning. I was on the road and I am at work. Why are you minding my... Anyway, Slick Money Grip, Grand Rising. Crystal Stevenson, good morning. James Kamau. Stan Kofa say thanks to organizations like Sesame Street that help the world treat with respect and respect differently able. Yes, that's a good point, Sankofa. Gabriel Phillip, your message didn't come true. It came true as a dot, but good morning anyway. And Alistair Hart also says good morning and thanks for the extra hour. You predicted something. We actually went till almost 9 o'clock yesterday. That's probably why. So good morning, everybody, and those are all our greetings on the chat together with Lester Cragwell, who just jumped in. All right.
So I get to remind me. I'll tell you about my travels yesterday into Port of Spain. But let me say good morning to Kent. Kent was off the marks very early this morning. Also, Ingrid out there in Tucson, Arizona. Hi, Ingrid. Thank you very much. Archbishop Ashton Clark in Canada. Good day to you. Then we had Frank out there in Aruca coming in there. Fifi out there in Addis Ababa. And Mahi, who's out there in New Jersey. So good morning to you, Mahi. Also, let me say good morning to Colin and Kelly out of Carenage. I met Colin yesterday. Nice guy. Nice guy. And who else is here? Mr. Billy and the Powder Magazine crew. And I hope your wife enjoyed her birthday tremendously, Mr. Billy. Peter Wilson out there in St. James. Good morning. Sina and the Powder Puff ladies. Good day to you. And of course, one of the other Powder Puff ladies joined you right after CJ out there in New York. So good morning, Charmaine. To Mr. Beeps in Pity Valley. Good day to you. Captain Ron in Orlando. Suzanne with that long message. And happy birthday to your brother. Judith out there in Mount St. George in Tobago. Yeah. And and Pauline, who is up heading to the gym as always at around this time, says, I'm going to the gym, but I have you all in my ear. So that is so nice, Pauline. Thank you so much. All right, people. So it's now 28 minutes before the hour of 7 o'clock. You are on to the breakfast show. So we're going to stay with us. We're going to take a break. When we come back, we're going to look at the newspapers and see some of the other things that are trending. All right, so don't go anywhere.
S&H Rumbox, 137 Western Main Road, St. James, for all your retail and wholesale needs for alcohol and non-alcoholic beverages. Call us at 686-0599 or visit us at 137 Western Main Road, St. James. S&H Rumbox, drinking out of the box.
Are you taking care of your sexual health and overall well-being? At Total Image and Dr. Raj Adult Boutique, we believe your confidence, wellness, and intimacy matter. Visit us at our convenient locations: 10 Carmody Street, St. Augustine, Edinburgh, Chaguanas, Shops of Day Bay, 95 Circular Road, Vista Bella, Docks Ranch Light Pole 51, SS Aaron Road, Penal, and Metro Hotel, Suite 1, Number 2, Knoll Street North, Couva. From relaxing massage services to professional guidance on sexual wellness, we are here to support you every step of the way. Consult with renowned sexologist Dr. Raj Ramnanan for expert advice tailored to your needs. Take the first step toward a healthier, more confident you. Call 285-9739 or 645-4543 to book your appointment today. Total Image and Dr. Raj Adult Boutique, where wellness meets confidence.
Advertise with us on New Era TT Radio, the fastest growing streaming platform for talk in Trinidad and Tobago. Audio and video ads welcome. Elevate your brand with us. Connect with us at newerattradio@yahoo.com or call us at 299-5156. Now what are you waiting for?
Port of Spain, a scandal in Citrus is finally back. We know you've been waiting, and we are finally back at Central Bank Auditorium for 2 nights only, on Saturday the 2nd of May at 8:30 p.m. and Sunday the 3rd at 6:30 p.m. Scandal in Citrus is back. Box office at Central Bank Auditorium opens on Monday 27th April, 12 noon to 6 p.m. daily. Tickets also available at usual outlets and online. Kick stress out of your life.
Stress, get away from me!
Scandal in Citrus. Do not miss it.
Scandal in Cedrus.
Join me, Brother David Muhammad, every Tuesday from 6 p.m. to 8 p.m. here on New Era TT Radio, Net Radio, Powerful Radio. Join me to hear knowledge, wisdom, and understanding. Tuesdays, 6 p.m. to 8 p.m. here on New Era TT Radio, Net Radio.
Hi, good morning, guys.
Hi, Richard. Morning, Richard.
I was coming in just before the break. I said, no, the break happened. By the time I'm coming out, I speak for 10 seconds, and I lose the chance to say, anyway, we have to go to a break. Why do you just open yourself up to me and my warped mind sometimes? Oh, God, because it's very difficult, Wendell, to keep track. So come in after the break. Come in after everything break. Come in after. Go ahead. Morning, Richard. Play blessing there for everybody back from I want to know how good to see me in a good mood. Great mood. I'm always in a great mood, you know. It's just that the news sometimes just depress me. The news in Trinidad and Tobago and worldwide, which will happen very soon when we do headlines. You know? But I'm always in a great mood. Anyway, let's go straight into the headlines, unless Richard has any special greetings.
No. Go ahead, proceed, please.
Yeah. All right. Of course, in the Express Online edition today, phase 2 starts, and that's the implementation of 1 nurse for 6 patients. So says E.D. Stewart. Where are the other news? Naked robbed after bank visit, and that was trending news yesterday. He left Royal Bank. Is it Royal Bank? A bank in Marval, and went to a grocery somewhere, I think in St. Anne's or Cascade. And when in 2 minutes' time, when he came back,
somebody watching you. Somebody watching you. You understand?
Yeah. But he, in a kind of way, was blaming the bank. And as a matter of fact, that was the poll question on TV6 last night about security at the bank. But the incident didn't happen at the bank. It didn't happen at the bank car park either.
Yeah. Because
so I was wondering why they went that direction.
Yeah. You remember we were talking about the guy the other day with the when he went to the credit union or whatever, and people watch him and wait until the opportune time and then rob him. So these guys are watching.
The bank can't be responsible for what happens somewhere else. The bank can only deal with their specific area. So that's why I didn't understand why the question, why the discussion went in that direction. As to blame the bank, you know? And he said banks making billions of dollars and they had to do better for security. The bank securing their compound, I don't know that they go follow you because you withdraw money and secure you where you go.
They will only get you as far as your car. After that, you're on your own.
Yeah, and that's for everybody.
Yeah.
So I didn't quite follow that, but anyway, you see me, you know how I feel about it.
Bank online. Right?
I don't want people to say I'm only saying that because it's who it happened to. All right? Because it could happen to me too, quite frankly. CARICOM song's note of caution, anger over Delsey's brooch, and if nothing else signifies how CARICOM is just a mess and just looking for bacchanal, is that now. That bacchanal now over Delsey Rodriguez brooch. Like they have nothing to do. Anyway, police bank card used after disappearance. These are the stories that just get me upset. The 2 elderly gentlemen who went on a little outing together and were found murdered in the trunk of their car, burnt. Their bank card was used after. You can imagine that? I really hope they find those people, eh?
Yep.
Those people I hope they find.
Yep.
Republic Bank announces fee increases from Friday. Well, what else is new? So that means all the banks are going to increase. Rodriguez's Essequibo brooch draws concern. All right, so those are all trending stories in the news in today's Express. All right.
All right, the Trinidad and Tobago Guardian for today. PM shrugs off Venezuelan leaders' trips to other CARICOM countries. I have no concerns, but Amory says it's the result of undiplomatic belligerence on Kamala's part. CARICOM backs Ghana, warns against using regional platforms to advance territorial claims. Political forecaster, UNC on course for victory if election called now. UNC ministers issue near perfect self-appraisal 1 year in. Al-Rawi cites PNM disconnect as party reflects on election defeat. Other stories trending. Georgia Bood passes on. What's this one? Union water battle. Where's this? Let me click on this story because I don't know this story at all. Go on.
You want my glasses, borrow?
Water butler fires workforce without severance. I don't know this bacchanal.
That's crystal clear. We talked about that yesterday, actually, briefly.
Oh, okay. I didn't know that at all. And this is a repetition, you know, Trinidad Guardian likes to repeat in all of the different columns here. So this is PM shrugs off Venezuelan leadership. That's Munilal joins and adopts Palm East Park cleanup. Okay, I think I should really stay with Trinidad Guardian.
The Guardian online is difficult.
Yeah, it is.
It's difficult.
No, but they don't on the mobile. I follow it easier rather than watching it on the computer dashboard. Honoring Mother Earth. Orishas celebrate with ancestral rites at Lopino grounds. Dr. Roche Lewis, top OTT aerobathon, burnout. TNT men face Russia on June 9th friendly. Digital marketing lessons for sports from iShow Speed. So that's just some of the stories in Trinidad and Tobago Garden for today.
All right.
iShow Speed was like,
Listen, that young man, where he getting that energy from?
Yeah. Well, that's his brand.
Well, brother, man. And he's eating. Of course, he's saying he still think Trinidad food is the best. And he's saying that in the other islands, So no wonder why he had them big, strong men around him.
He went hook up on doubles.
Yeah.
Love doubles.
Yeah. But he is doing a fantastic job highlighting the Caribbean.
Yeah.
I have to tell you that. He's doing it. And the crowd in St. Vincent, I think, is the biggest so far.
Yeah.
You saw the St. Vincent performance?
Yes.
It was huge.
At a stadium.
Yeah, I think he was, I don't know where he was, but he was high up. I think it was in the street. It looked like a street. You know, but he has a huge following. He really does. I'm happy for him. He really reminds me of Chris Tucker, though.
Yeah, but whoever organized that tour for him, they well planned that well.
But I think in a lot of the islands, the point people are actually the tourism boards. So that the point people are actually people, the state is part of it. I don't think in Trinidad and Tobago the state was part of it. I think it was organized by, private sector groups, or I think Marshall's manager had a lot to do with it too.
Yeah, he's been with them all the time, huh?
Yeah, in terms of the Trinidad and Tobago showcasing, and I thought Trinidad and Tobago.
He all over with them.
Yeah, I think Trinidad and Tobago did a good job in showcasing so many things. Everything is done like in a speed.
Yeah. And as I was saying, is that everything was just put together. So they had to, if they're island hopping with that same kind of coordination taking place, that means
day after day,
Yeah. So in, out, get crews in place, make sure everything is in space. So his team or whoever he's working with has that Caribbean tour, that Caribbean hop well organized.
But it looks like if it's Marshall manager who going about with him,
I wouldn't doubt that, because
it looks like him.
Yeah.
At least the guy who we know as Marshall manager. I don't even know his name, but what he looks like.
Yeah, I can't remember his last name, but Che, I think is his first name.
Oh, he's a Che. All right.
Yeah.
Anyway, we could open up the lines, but just to touch on a couple things in the chat. Debbie Mitchell says good morning. Deborah Noel Surrett Hillbench also says good morning. And Stephen Wilson is saying in Canada and other places, they make you sign a waiver that exempts the bank, I guess, from liability for anything that happens after certain amounts of money is withdrawn, that you understand the risk. Well, I don't even know I don't know that the banks in Trinidad do that, but it is entirely your risk after you leave the bank. It is entirely yours. I don't know that a bank could provide you outside of their compound, outside. And if they're in a mall, worse yet, because the mall compound may have security, but I don't know that the bank will have security outside. And a lot of banks are in malls right now. So. Yeah.
All right, so before we get into the calls, as Wendell announced it and people started to call, but let's get into our Did You Know segment also.
Those are both again there, Wendell.
Sorry there, Sir Charles. Sorry.
No,
You both smell like King Charles, both the President of America. The President of America ain't even know he get both from King Charles,
Smooth.
I didn't realize you get both. I just wanted to point it out.
I am calling on the relevant authorities to please start educating the population of Trinidad and Tobago about autism. I am really fed up of myself and other autistics being told that we make excuses for our behaviors. I am not the only autistic that is being told that so regularly, you know. Others are being told that as well. You see, what happened is, us as adult autistics, a lot of us, did not receive what you call that early intervention as children. But thankfully, the children are receiving it now. So we struggle to navigate this world. As for myself, I am now learning how to interact with people. A professional counseling psychologist without the knowledge of autism is assisting me presently. I would love if the relevant authorities can please educate the population of Trinidad and Tobago about autism. Come on social media, make videos about different aspects of autism. Come on television, come on radio, speak about it. This is something that the relevant authorities need to speak about. You know, all year round, people speak about diabetes, high blood pressure, HIV, cancer. So, you know, when you ask people about them things, they don't tell you making excuses. So, it come, you wouldn't tell a diabetic that how they're making excuses because the sugar high, right? Same way, you can't tell autistic people that they're making excuses for certain behaviors if they didn't receive early intervention and they're now receiving it, such as myself who is now receiving intervention. You know, think about it. Really. It's time we need to do better as a nation.
So Charles, go to the head of the class today. 2 very good segments today.
Yeah, I've seen that one before. Maybe I saw it in our group. I'm not sure.
I think it would have been in our group.
Yeah. I've seen it. I thought it was an interesting, educational point from somebody who's autistic.
Yes.
Many people don't understand that,
Yep, a lot of people don't, Well done, Sir Charles. Just a couple things to comment on. Scorpion Pepper, I agree with you when you said it wasn't your calling people pests. It was your support for the unaliving, the killing of people who you called pests by police without due process, i.e. extrajudicial killings, which you seem to support. She is responding to, of course, Mrs. R, who said, when I call them pests, all it is open all year, and then she's put ... You can't kill people just because they may have committed a crime or whatever. That, and without due process, we will never support that. Never ever support that. You understand? Hold them, let them go through the court process, and let them get their just due. Killing people, unless it's in a gunfight, I will never support that. Okay? So I just wanted to put that out there again. Right? And also, Stephen also says, I think they have a responsibility to inform you of the other means of moving cash, which is in drafts, checks, direct transfer. They do it. Most banks do it.
I think they do that,
Yeah. They do advise you.
They kind of suggest, they kind of prod you in that direction.
Yeah. As opposed to taking out all that cash and moving it. So it's your risk. Morning, Florence Bazi. Well, Sir Charles, you could say what you need to say now. I frightened to talk.
What happened to you now?
You want to open the lines? You want me to say open the lines?
Oh my word. All right, people, we're taking your calls. Yeah. All right. People coming up in the next hour, we'll be talking with Dr. Vanus James also. And we'll be looking at a number of things in between there. So you stay with us inside of the next hour. It's going to be a very interesting one.
Yeah.
Well, good morning.
Good morning, gentlemen. I support that video with autism. And I think what the population needs to listen a little more into education, not just autism, but also type 1. And children also that have those form of challenges in the educational system. I don't think there's any provisions for those children who in the normal schools take into consideration, and parents who have to administer that scenario, it becomes a little more challenging for them too. So it's something that probably the educational system has to be learned, take into consideration also. Notwithstanding that, what I call for is basically tied into yesterday in terms of the report card, if you want to say so, of the first year under the Prime Minister, Kamala Prasad. And what I feel like the logical thinking has gone out of the door. So if it is that this political analyst says that he gets a passing grade, however, only less than 30% of her cabinet ministers are performing. To me, that's a failure. Yeah.
The logic kind of escapes.
Yeah, and besides that, we are seeing depreciation in terms of the economic environment. You have nutrient closed down. You have a lot of businesses closed down. If you are going to the new mall in Chagona's, I think it's Nightfall building, or one of those buildings, there are a lot of empty spaces. Over the years, there are a lot of challenges. And then you look at the entertainment industry, when you look at bars, the amount of increase in payments, the taxes are paid. I moved from $3,475 for a special restaurant license to $9,000, and then $25,000 for one of the gaming machines. So I cannot see logically how it is as a passing grade. And not to mention our relationship internationally with our CARICOM neighbors and our next door neighbors in this level. Right? I thank gentlemen for this opportunity.
Yeah, thanks for that. We're going to get into that also with Dr. Vanus James in the next hour. He's going to talk about the performance of the government in the first year, and of course, of what's happening in Tobago and so on. All right?
Yeah. Caller, good morning.
Hey, good morning, gentlemen.
Morning.
This is I just remembered something I was supposed to speak about a couple of days ago, or incident that happened a couple of days ago. And Trinidad and Tobago seems to glaze over these problems that we're having in the police service, where a police officer was forced to shoot and kill a man wielding a cutlass and a hammer or something like that.
Did you say cutlass?
Yeah.
Cutlass?
Cutlass, yeah.
Okay.
And a hammer. The concern I have with that is that we are not arming our protective services with the tools to adequately treat with non-life-threatening issues. I think I made this quote a while back that once you have a hammer, everything else will be a nail. Everything you see there will be a nail. And if you only arm the police with a gun, the only tool that they have to use is a gun. Right?
I saw Gary post about that, because Gary posted about that, because he said that when he was there, he wanted the pepper spray and the tasers and so on, and of course the police never embraced those things.
Yes, we need to do better. People who may be going through mental illness for whatever reason, the police only option mustn't be a life-threatening tool. There are too many things in 2026 that we could arm our police with, that they could use less lethal means that they could use to defend themselves and save lives and preserve lives. Right? We have pepper spray, we have tasers, we have all this. And I know the police I know they got some under Gary Griffith, I believe. Maybe the commissioner was in charge. But I think I heard at some point in time the batteries died on the tasers, they weren't adequate. And I don't know if you just send firemen to buy tools for police. I don't know who's the people that procure these items for them.
Who's the procurement person?
Yeah, I don't know who to this be. But
the same man who buy the wooden ladders.
The wooden ladders, yeah, like they send the police to buy ladders for fire. I don't know. Like they have all the square pegs in the wrong hole where these protective services and equipment is concerned. Right? But I just wanted to highlight that to the population that and they don't have those things because we don't demand that they have those things. We don't
we do it all, but they don't take us on. Clearly, I never see a police officer with a taser. I've never seen it being used. I don't know if you all have seen it.
I have seen them with tasers. I think once in Chaguanas I saw police with what appeared to be 2 guns. And I was watching this police like an idiot. I'm like, why do you have 2 guns on him? And I asked another police officer and he said, what is that taser? I said, okay, that's great. We go in from there. But after that, I've never seen it again. And then I heard some statement that the batteries died out and this and the pepper spray. I see police use pepper spray in Trinidad in the wrong reason. I've seen them use it for all kind of choppiness, but at least they had some of the. But you see, we have 8,000 police, and we just buy 1,000 pepper spray, and say that's good enough. And that I didn't say we should buy 8,000 because out of the 8,000, 2,000 might be in offices, might be in desks, might be in public places that wouldn't be dealing with criminal elements. You know, the 8,000, but definitely 1,000 is not. That is one of the numbers they have for the body count, for example. That is just not enough. Okay.
All right.
Gentlemen.
Lincoln, thank you. I understand you dropped off a package again for my daughter. Thank you very much.
Yes. No problem.
Take care. Thanks.
All right. Mr. Billy.
Oh, yes. Thank you. Good morning show. Very nice show.
Are you all happy with the new government? The government is doing
yesterday on the show for my wife. Thank you all very much. I want to discuss that thing very briefly, the autism contribution where the young lady was making a trial call for, people to be more aware and to treat it. I have 2 friends who have children with those conditions, and I know that is a challenge. And, and the client called by that individual, they really touched me. And whoever aired it, I think you need the hats off as well, let's say, go to the front of the class. Well done, Fatal, in highlighting those issues. The next thing I want to touch on quickly is this incident, with high-profile people, vehicles being broken into, and all kind of things. So there's 3 like people like the ordinary people like myself go through. I remember a few years ago, there's a guy who was the president, I think the Eastern President, one of them was Wayne Estrada, my good friend, used to be a former police officer. And we were lining at Mass Camp on the avenue, and then we went up to something up and by that place there, and we were parking a car park. I never forget that. And both of us, he was an officer at the time, I was a soldier at the time, and both of us with about 7 people were broken into and smashed and all kind of things. So those kind of crimes have been happening all the time, where these people bounce at the vehicle and they call you like a distress. Well, luckily for my vehicle, I didn't have no value of business, but I had us to go at the bamboo and get that small glass for the car. That's what we had at the time. So I am sorry for the junior minister, what took place with him, as the minister in the Ministry of Sports, I think. I am sorry for what took place with him, but you have to be more vigilant and more things. So thank you very much.
All right. Take care, Mr. Billy. Of course, our poll is up, people. Do you agree that banks need to provide more security for their customers? Of course, Senator David Nackett has made a clarion call for banks to provide more security for their customers. Of course, this is after he experienced a personal incident yesterday, not at the bank, but at a grocery in St. Anne's or somewhere there, I think, where his car was broken into after he had left a bank. All right. So do you agree that more security, banks should provide more security for their customers? Yes or no? All right. You get to vote on it. 1 is yes, 2 is no. All right. 1 is yes, 2 is no. Right. So we will count your votes after we come back from the news. And of course, we'll have our guest, Dr. Vanus James.
The news you need, the clarity you deserve. Local, regional, global. This is Net Radio News Now.
This is News Now for Wednesday, the 29th of April on New Era TT Radio, Net Radio, and Gael Caribbean TV. I am Derek McMillan. So glad that you can join us. Slain municipal police officer Anuska Eversley was remembered as a dedicated and courageous officer during her funeral service in San Fernando. Senior Superintendent Wayne Muhammad described her killing as an evil act, saying she served with honor and made the ultimate sacrifice while on duty. Eversley was murdered on April 19th at the San Fernando Municipal Police Station, where firearms and ammunition were also stolen. Family, friends, and colleagues paid tribute to her warmth, professionalism, and commitment, as her brother recalled her as loving, fearless, and always willing to help others. Mayor Robert Parris also condemned the killing and called for greater responsibility in public discourse. 3 men have since been charged with her murder, as investigations continue and officers remain suspended. Assistant Commissioner of Police Wayne Mystar says his priority as head of the Municipal Police Service is to stabilize the organization and rebuild trust following a major crisis. Mystar, appointed after the removal of former head Surendra Sakram Singh, steps in days after the murder of Officer Anuska Eversley and the reported theft of firearms at the San Fernando Municipal Police Station. He says morale within the service is low, and restoring confidence among officers and the public will be critical. Mystar also plans to improve communication, strengthen oversight, and clarify the role of municipal police officers. He says he will meet officers across the country and take a hands-on leadership approach. 3 men have already been charged in Eversley's killing. Shamfa Cudjoe Lewis has been elected political leader of the PNM Tobago Council and says her first priority will be rebuilding the party through a major membership drive. Cudjoe Lewis secured 63% of the vote in Sunday's internal election, defeating Kelvon Morris, as independents also claimed key executive positions. She says the focus now will be on revitalizing party groups and expanding support while promoting unity within the organization. The former Tobago West MP says she intends to work with all candidates, including Morris, as the party moves into a rebuilding phase. PNM political leader Penelope Beckles has welcomed the result, praising Cudjoe Lewis's experience and leadership. She now automatically becomes one of the party's deputy political leaders. The Housing Development Corporation has cleared a major legal hurdle after successfully defending 11 complaints over a multi-billion-dollar housing project. The challenges brought by NH International sought to contest its exclusion from a procurement process for 3,700 housing units valued at more than $3.4 billion. However, the Office of Procurement Regulation dismissed all 11 applications, ruling they did not meet the required legal standards. The HDC says the decision allows it to move forward with efforts to address the country's housing shortage. Maintaining the process was conducted in the public's interest. Housing Minister Philip Edward Alexander has also pledged transparency as the program progresses. A separate probe into the awarding of the contracts is still ongoing. Senator David Naked was robbed of cash and valuables in a brazen daytime break-in in Cascade. Police say around 4:15 p.m. on Monday, Naked parked his vehicle at a supermarket car park and went inside. Just 2 minutes later, he returned to find a rear window of his Mercedes-Benz smashed. Checks revealed $10,000 in cash, along with high-end perfumes and personal items, including bank and ID cards, had been stolen. The incident was reported to Belmont Police, and investigations are ongoing. In regional news, Barbados and Venezuela have agreed to strengthen bilateral ties with new cooperation in energy, trade, and agriculture. Prime Minister Mia Mottley held talks with visiting Venezuelan acting president Delcy Rodriguez, with both leaders signaling expanded collaboration. Rodriguez said Barbados is being invited to invest in Venezuela's oil and gas sector, with plans to boost hydrocarbon production and secure future energy supply. Both countries also discussed renewable energy projects, including solar panel manufacturing and joint investment in clean energy. Mottley said the partnership is critical amid global energy uncertainty, noting Venezuela's long-standing role in supporting the Caribbean. The two nations also agreed to deepen cooperation in agriculture and food security, with further talks expected. Finally, in international news, the United Arab Emirates government has announced it will leave OPEC effective May 1st, in a move expected to weaken the oil cartel's global influence. The UAE, one of OPEC's largest producers, has long pushed back against production quotas, arguing they limited its ability to expand output after heavy investment in capacity. Analysts say the exit reflects both economic ambitions and growing tensions with Saudi Arabia, the group's leading producer. Despite the decision, experts say there may be no immediate impact on global oil markets, as supplies are already constrained by conflict in the Middle East. The UAE says it will gradually increase production in line with market demand as it pursues a broader energy strategy. And that is Net Radio News at this time. Stay with us for more great programming on the other side of the break.
That was news now. Stay informed with New Era TT Radio. Net Radio.
Your mid-morning just got better. Join Sir Charles for the mid-morning mix and mingle, where good music, real talk, health, and family matters come together, and your voice is heard. Whether you're at work, on the go, or just taking a break, this is the perfect mix to keep you engaged, informed, and entertained. The mid-morning mix and mingle, weekdays, 9 a.m. to 12 noon on New Era TT Radio, Net Radio.
Vibes, fresh energy. This is the Net Radio Breakfast Show.
Remember when I tell everybody jungle, I thought it was peace in the jungle. When I saw the feast in the jungle, I ceased to believe it's beast in the jungle. I run from the beast in the jungle, a voice from the tree where I stumble. This is no time to be humble. Get up and eat all the beast. I don't tell the girl, it's whistle and horn. And if she call your phone, tell she a gone. I don't tell the girl, it's whistle and horn. Nobody can keep me going, already born. Well, the tongue hot, we cannibals make this tongue hot. The girls in tongue just make the tongue hot. Dance not right, so DJ don't stop. I stick on like a like syrup and cup. Watch the girl and break away. Same girls that I make on the back way. You want to eat or you want to take away? This is carnival day, I don't tell me girl. It's whistle and horn. And if she call your phone, tell she a gone. I don't tell me girl. It's whistle and horn. Nobody can keep we going, already born. When the thing sets, all kind of woman inside the sweat. Go try to watch the girl that I get. The girl that I get, she dripping with sweat. I don't care about that, cause she cock it back and she rock it back. She walk it back cause she fuck it back. I bust one slap when I pick it back, and she pick it back when she stick it back. Tell me girl, it's whistle and horn. And if she call your phone, tell she a gone. I don't tell me girl, it's whistle and horn. Nobody can keep we going, already born. Trinidad nice, Obama tell me Trinidad nice. The heat and the breeze make Trinidad nice. I want play match for the price. I will find a way. It's super morning, I start to play. The music stops, so I dingle it. Can't you tell me don't go down there, so I disobey. And I make she pay, tell me girl, it's whistle and horn. And if she call your phone, tell she a gone. I don't tell me girl, it's whistle and horn. Nobody can keep we going, already born. Tell me girl, it's whistle and horn. And if she call your phone, tell she a gone. I don't tell me girl, it's whistle and horn. Nobody can keep we going, already born.
Mornings just got better.
Remember when I tell everybody jungle, I thought it was peace in the jungle. When I saw the beast in the jungle, I see the beast in the jungle. I run from the beast in the jungle, A voice from the tree where I stumble.
Well, everybody, this is where we welcome you inside the second hour of the breakfast show.
It's whistle and horn.
Right here on your Era TT Radio, Net Radio. And also on Gael Caribbean TV. Thank you so much for joining us. Good morning to the Anthem crew. Those of you that came in very early, thank you so much. All those folks who came in along the way, I know you're going to go all the way today. Thank you so much for being with us on the net. This is the Breakfast Show. Wendell Stephen, Richard Ragobaru saying yours truly, Sir Charles. Monday to Friday, you find us here, right?
It's whistle and horn. And if she call your phone,
and of course, when we come off of the Gael field,
it's
closer to 9 o'clock, remember you can switch across to all of our platforms. You can listen to us all over streaming platforms. NetRadioTT.com. To the folks who will join us on TuneIn, My Tuner, Radio Garden, Simple Radio, and others. Guess what? Net Radio Trinidad. That is all you need to put in. Net Radio Trinidad, and of course you get to get us on all of your smart devices, right? Also, don't forget to put your stamp on all of our pages, whether you're on Facebook, YouTube, Instagram, or TikTok. And I need you guys to put your stamp on TikTok. I'm trying to push that TikTok page.
And if she call your phone, tell she a gone. I don't tell me girl. It's whistle.
So our morning poll is up.
Already got if we go. Already poured. Tell me girl.
Do you agree with Senator Naked that banks need to do more where security is concerned? After that robbery that took place yesterday, it seems nobody is exempt from that, right?
Nobody got if we go. Already poured.
Right, so do you agree? Remember, you're voting yes or you're voting no? If you're voting yes, you're voting 1. If you're voting no, you are voting 2. Don't forget to also, you can join our YouTube channel. All you have to do is send us a text to any one of our numbers, and all you have to say is send link, and we will send that link for you so you can join our YouTube channel. No, WhatsApp channel, sorry. So stay with us, and when we come back, we'll tell you how you voted. Remember, coming up at around 7:30 this morning, we will be talking with Dr. Vanus James. He's an economist, and we'll be looking at the government's first year in office, how they perform, and also the Auditor General report, what's happening in Tobago. So we have plenty of things we're talking with Dr. Vanus James, right? So stay with us on the net.
Port of Spain, a scandal in Citrus is finally back. We know you've been waiting, and we are finally back at Central Bank Auditorium for 2 nights only, on Saturday the 2nd of May at 8:30 p.m. and Sunday the 3rd at 6:30 p.m. Scandal in Citrus is back. Box office at Central Bank Auditorium opens on Monday 27th April, 12 noon to 6 p.m. daily. Tickets also available at usual outlets and online. Kick stress out of your life.
Stress, get away from
Scandal in Citrus. Do not miss it.
Scandal in Citrus.
Are you taking care of your sexual health and overall well-being? At Total Image and Dr. Raj Adult Boutique, we believe your confidence, wellness, and intimacy matter. Visit us at our convenient locations: 10 Carmody Street, St. Augustine, Edinburgh, Chaguanas, Shops of Daybay, 95 Circular Road, Vistabella, Docks Ranch Light Pole 51, SS Aaron Road, Penal, and Metro Hotel, Suite 1, Number 2, Knoll Street North, Couva. From relaxing massage services to professional guidance on sexual wellness, we are here to support you every step of the way. Consult with renowned sexologist, Dr. Raj Ramnanan, for expert advice tailored to your needs. Take the first step toward a healthier, more confident you. Call 285-9739 or 645-4543 to book your appointment today. Total Image and Dr. Raj Adult Boutique, where wellness meets confidence.
Advertise with us on New Era TT Radio, the fastest growing streaming platform for talk in Trinidad and Tobago. Audio and video ads welcome. Elevate your brand with us. Connect with us at newerattradio@yahoo.com or call us at 299-5156. Now, what are you waiting for?
S&H Rumbox, 137 Western Main Road, St. James, for all your retail and wholesale needs for alcohol and non-alcoholic beverages. Call us at 686-0599 or visit us at 137 Western Main Road, St. James. S&H Rumbox, drinking out of the box.
Join me, Brother David Muhammad, every Tuesday from 6 p.m. to 8 p.m. here on New Era TT Radio, Net Radio, Powerful Radio. Join me to hear knowledge, wisdom, and understanding. Tuesdays, 6 p.m. to 8 p.m. here on New Era TT Radio, Net Radio.
Of course, we are back from our 7 o'clock news. Listen, I'm so enjoying listening to King Charles with that throne speech he made and putting Donald Trump and the United States right back in their place. You understand? I'm so enjoying watching it, or listening to it, I should say.
That is, which one of the comments you're talking about? Where you talk about the language situation?
Yeah, where he spoke about the United States say that if it wasn't for them, the Europeans would be speaking German. And King Charles said, well, if it wasn't for us, we would be speaking French. You know? Now he hit him some blows, and of course about power, about the checks and balances now for executive power now. You know, all those were not so subtle messages to Donald Trump's presidency in the United States. And of course, he was getting standing ovations almost every time he said something. Everybody stood up and clapped. Yeah.
Well, that's good, because there was an uproar in the parliament. They were kind of saying, look, do not subject our king to this kind of behavior. But the king seems to be handling himself pretty well.
Yeah, and he had that kind of cheeky smile. He just, looked up as he paused while they stood up and clapped, and he has that cheeky smile on his face. I really enjoyed watching it. All right, but our poll is up, people. Do you agree that banks need to provide more security for their customers? You notice we took out the political element in it by removing Senator David Naki, because he's the one who made that call. So that you could vote apolitical or apolitical, So do you agree that banks need to provide more security for their customers? So let's go to the polls now. Let's go all the way back up. I think Hilary Zahn was the first vote, right?
Yeah, I was there in the ticker tape because it just could not hold in the all the characters.
You mean Senator Naked is in the ticker tape?
Yeah. So you see, I put the banner for you guys also. So,
I'm now seeing it.
Yeah.
Okay.
It showed the poll, but you have to craft shorter polls.
Okay.
Keep it in mind, right?
I'll try.
Yeah.
But I'll try. Hilary Zahn says 1, that's yes. Marlon Motley 1. Boy Bidesi 1, Margaret Thomas 2, Valerie Mendoza 1, Michael Oliver 1, Avion Abraham 1, Robert Taylor 1, Suzanne Jessup 1, Junior Wickham 1, Alice Hart 1. He says, but within the bank and in the car park. But I can't imagine they could do it anywhere else, But we could discuss the other part of that experience just now. Eunice Dublin 1, Sankofa 2, how the bank could provide security for our own negligence off their compound, which is where the discussion really should go. Gregory Boyer 2, we need to make better decisions regarding securing our personal assets. Colted Finch, good morning. Apollonius 1, Colted Finch 1. Ingrid from Tucson, yes, that's 1. Diane 1. All right. Whistle and horn. Gemma Peters Halls 1. All right, only going on some other discussions here. Diana Hamill 2. Debbie Mitchell 1. Carla Achilles 2. Chris said 2. Robert Allen 1. Yeah, well, our question really is based on what Senator David Nackett said. In other words, he said banks need to spend some of the billions and provide more security. Of course, his situation is different, and it's like most other people, they drive away from the bank with loads of cash, park up somewhere, and the car gets smashed.
Yeah, and that is because these, people have to realize that organized crime did not get the way that it is because of stupid people involved in it.
True.
People are very smart. They are aware. The technology, everything is over. So they're observing everybody. So if you go to the bank, they will observe you're coming out. They will notice you doing certain things. They will notice you put certain things in your trunk, or So they know basically.
They're watching you. They're watching you, but they won't attack you at the bank.
No,
you know what I mean?
Wait time. So if they realize, okay, he had a package and I see him rested here, they follow you. So as soon as you park up that car, you hear what they say? It's about a minute or two after you park the car, that person know exactly what they were about.
Exactly. So they may have followed them from the bank, but I don't know how the bank could provide security for that.
No, they can't do it now after that.
But our poll, of course, is based on more security for their customers. So it's a good poll still. Michael Cadet 1, Kurt Hope 1, Fran Romani. I voted on the WhatsApp channel. Yes, Wendell, I too. Is that beauty culture? I don't know. I don't know if they mean on the WhatsApp channel.
No, the WhatsApp channel.
Yeah. Stick Money Grip 1, Annalie Johnson 1, Trini Mill Kitchen 1, Maurice 2, Joyce Phillip 1, Beauty Culture 1, Finbar Collins 2. The issue is a crime issue, which is governmental. Scorpion Pepper said, I vote 2. Oh God, woman, I can't deal with you, I vote 2 and then I vote 1. Andre votes 1 and she said, I can't vote now. All right. But again, Joseph Clement votes 2. You have any votes there, Sir Charles?
Yeah. All right, so let me get back where it started here. Right, so we have Pauline saying 1. We have Trinidad and Tobago saying 2. Afria saying 1. Kenwin saying 1. Peter Wilson saying 1. Captain Ron saying 1. Kurt Edwards saying 1. And we have one person saying 1 and another person saying 2 on the WhatsApp channel also. So it's gonna even out as to what you're seeing in front of you.
Yeah, well, Frank Edwards also voted 1, but on the YouTube votes, 85% said 1, that's yes, and 15% said no, that's 2. Again, the issue is it's split because the banks provided more security at their compound and car park. I don't know that anybody could argue against that, right? So which justifies the people who saying yes and 1. But a bank being responsible for a robbery that takes place after you leave their compound, I don't know that the bank could be ever be responsible for that. You understand?
That's a hard call. What banks could be responsible for is getting silent bill checker machines instead of the
yes.
So you there by teller, and if you come to take out, I don't know, $30,000, I just said, you might as well have a big sign over your head. I'm taking out cash.
I'm taking out money. Richard, that is so true.
Or they need to have a silent machine so nobody know what's going on.
Yeah.
And so you could act and look frustrated. But I tried to catch you yesterday. I just acted. just do the silent machine, do it.
But banks have some banks have private rooms that you could go in.
That's also one thing when and you think the bandit to know, oh, you going in that room.
That too. And you know, Richard, as you said that, I remember I brought this up on radio already too. You see that new system all banks have where you come in and pull a number and sit down? Anybody can do that. And sit down and just watch. Watch the
Yeah. So you're hearing the brrrr people and you see the people going inside the room.
Yes.
Oh.
Yes. It's something that is, as I say, you should really be doing transfers or checks
I think whoever invents a silent bill checker machine will make some money globally.
It's like a
giving somebody an idea. Yes.
No, but you're right. Those bill counting machines are a turn off. They are a turn off.
Everybody know your business. Yeah, everybody. Right? There are some people marking, that's something like 1,000.
Yeah.
That's 10,000 they just check them.
Yeah, there's no, depending on how long you go for it.
Yes. And if it's going too long, people start to look across at you and say, what?
That's done 20. If you hear brrr,
how much money
you hear by 20.
And some people pass it, but she could have checked that with she hand. What she machine.
Because look, I know somebody who went and get that brrr already and a 20 sticking between the hundreds, you know. And only when they leave the bank they realize, you know. You understand?
Yeah. That happened to me once. I carried my son and I said, excuse me, there's 20 was in the middle.
Hey.
Yeah.
No.
But they gave me, they changed it.
I have been a big victim of a robbery at a bank car park already. I would have said this before. But that wasn't me going to the bank and taking out money. That was me going to the bank to deposit money. And the guy who ran up to my car, pointed the gun at my head through the window and shot at me and missed me and shot the guy who was in the car with me in his leg. I told you all about this story already years ago.
Yeah.
You understand? So they're marking you not just at the bank, you know, they're marking you sometimes at your business place or where you're coming from.
Kinds of opportunity. But guys, our guest is here, so let's get into our Let's Talk segment.
All right. All right. Hi, good morning. Is Dr. James joining us on camera?
Yeah, well, he was on camera a little while ago. Dr. James, are you there?
I'm here.
Ah, there he is.
How are you?
Hi, morning, Dr. James.
Morning.
Morning, Dr. James.
In quite a while.
Morning to you, sir. How are things in Tobago? Are you in Tobago? I should ask that first of all.
I am in Tobago.
Good of you to join us. We haven't spoken to you for quite some time.
Indeed.
Right. Welcome. I wanted to start off, Dr. James, by asking you first, because I know you are a regional man too. Before we get into the local issues and Tobago issues, regionally, we see a new spot, and I'm putting that in inverted commas, coming out of CARICOM regarding a brooch that Delcy Rodriguez wore whilst meeting the Barbados Prime Minister. You have any opinion on that? Because the Guyana's president seems to have had an objection to it. What are your thoughts?
Well, as a Caribbean nation, we ought to devote our attention, put our energies much more into rethinking where we're going with CARICOM than having aimless and useless spats with one another. The whole model needs to be rethought. based on the evidence of the last 60 years. And what it points you to is that we should be doing something quite different to what we're doing now and what we've done for the last 50, 60 years. So they would need to spend more time reflecting deeply on those issues than fighting with each other over what amounts to a essentially failing project.
So as far as you're concerned, this is a non-issue. This issue of a brooch.
It's not worthwhile. It's not worth our while. We have CARICOM is in much deeper problems than addressed in that way, and that those problems are tied closely to the problems of the CARICOM economies themselves. We have to rethink the original model, as you would know, was based on the idea that each of us is too small to make our way in the world, and so we need a market enlargement program, and that's CARICOM, that's CARIFTA, that's CARICOM. That was William Demas, Havelock Brewster, Clive Thomas. That was their work. It missed all the critical evidence, including the claims they made that our economic advantages lie in light manufacturing. The evidence we have here in Trinidad and Tobago and in Jamaica is that that is clearly not the case. And when you understand where our advantages lie, then you will know the work that we really have to do to rebuild something that would ultimately drive the development of the Caribbean economies. Let me draw your attention to one fact you can't miss. Not one economy in the CARICOM bloc has developed over the entire project. Not one. And not one, including Trinidad and Tobago, that had this abundance of oil and gas in the golden is a trillion years. And we still have not developed our economy. And that tells you that something is wrong with the entire model. And we need to rethink that properly. That's where we ought to devote our attention, much more so than in who leave in, who join in, who should give who what, and what have we, who've been funding what. The whole project has to be rethought.
Yeah.
So it's not that you think that CARICOM is useless, you just think that the modality of it has to change and how we operate as a CARICOM unit and what.
Well, we need to cooperate. There is no question about that. But cooperate to do what? Not to simply enlarge the market. What the real problem is that our advantages lie in industries that are knowledge driven. The speed with which we learn is going to be the governing feature in any progress we make. The fundamental form of collaboration we need is to build institutions that speed up our learning, research institutions and all of those things. We have to collaborate. Each of us is too weak economically to do what is needed. You need to be, for example, to take the lead in a regional IT program with the rest of the world and making significant contributions of our own, accelerating our own learning in that space to drive whatever else we do. The whole global economy is driven by the speed of learning. That's the critical variable in driving all economies, and that has been the critical variable throughout history, really, although we never recognized it properly in the way we did our work. But now we know that. That's where we have to turn our heads. That's to healthcare, exportable education, beefing up our rich capabilities in the creative industries. I mean, we're doing them almost grudgingly, as though it's just we have talent. We're not doing them as genuine industry. We need to put some energies into building compelling, exportable, creative output, stuff like that, and boost other forms of, and all of that is going to depend on how fast we learn. The slower we learn, the less diversification and transformation we will. That's the fundamental fact that we have to face, because in the end, profits and productivity are tied directly to the speed of learning, the capacity to innovate and create and so on. We have to collaborate with one another to do the scale of investment required to significantly boost our speed of learning in the region. That's the critical fact. And Market enlargement is a minor story in that, if it's a significant story at all. So when you understand that, you know we have to do deep reforms. And in that context, let me draw your attention to something that's been true since Federation, when we tried it when I was a little boy. The critical story that has to be told in framing the collaboration is, what is the role of each country? We never knew the answer to that in Federation. That's really why it broke up. What is we're going to get bigger. We feel that we're too small as individuals, so small size is a disadvantage. But are there not real advantages to small size tied to what we try to contribute on the production end? If we collaborate on the learning end, that's the key. So what you have to do is work out the contribution, the real way, the real reasons each country is important. So it has an incentive to join on the one hand for the collaboration to work, and it has a role to play in making the collaboration work with the applications of the learning we build collaboratively. Once we set that model in motion, the Caribbean, the whole Caribbean economy will take off. Every island will have a place in the general space. But you see, you have to do the science to think of it that way and to build out the possibilities for each country that way.
Dr. James, so while I understand what you're saying, that, CARICOM has bigger things to see about, but CARICOM has to learn to multitask. So while they are trying to, at the heads level, trying to forge this way forward to make it more viable and more important, where individuals in between that whole setup may have concerns, I think they still have to be able to deal with that. At the same time, we have to be able to multitask.
We do. We have to. Collaboration means we have to learn to work with one another. That's the first thing. And we have to have reasons to work with one another that go beyond being afraid of being small. So you're right. That's one element of the multitasking. And to cook up the institutional arrangement. Look, CARICOM's institutional arrangement is doomed to failure for one reason. If you look at the design of CARICOM that Demas and Brewster and Thomas led us to, what you really have is an authoritarian system at the top of CARICOM. Every one of the countries in CARICOM runs an authoritarian government. And then you take the heads of those authoritarian governments and you create the heads of CARICOM to drive the whole process. Now, what's wrong with that? That is a system within the country. You know it in Trinidad and Tobago. We know it in Jamaica and so on. Within the country, that's a system that is uninformed about what the people understand, what they know, what they can bring to the learning process, what they can share and communicate with one another. So the government of Trinidad and Tobago today is underinformed about how we're going to build a viable economy. The same, that multiplies to the top of CARICOM. None of the governments around CARICOM has a system in place to gather appropriate information that will shape where we go as a country or as a region. Now, as long as you're in that position, ignorance is going to kill you. So you're right, we have to work on chew gum, but walking and chew gum requires that, you're crossing the road, you've got to be a human and know how to cross the road. It's not just that you have to assume you could cross the road, and you've got to know how, otherwise can't go knock you down.
Know what to do.
You have to know what you're doing. So you got to understand the nature of a society in modern terms, blown up by our recent experiences with information technology.
Okay. Well, seeing that we have crossed that hurdle there, I just want to bring it straight into where we are at, Trinidad and Tobago, and the government. 1 year, looking back or looking forward, how is Trinidad and Tobago? Are we stabilizing? Are we lagging behind? Are we slipping? Where are we? How are you seeing Trinidad and Tobago right now?
Well, we're sitting on a knife edge, and the government took on an assignment, the new government took on an assignment when the PNM was kicked out of office, that it needs to understand and bring to the and a properly constructed national conversation to work out a solution for. Now, I have not heard as yet any systematic articulation of the way forward to solve the problem that was inherited. The economy was in deep crisis at the end of 2024. You had gone through somewhere near 21% decline in the real GDP per capita of Trinidad and Tobago. And that brought down Rowley, and a lot of that was on the conspiracy of the energy sector that was declining continually. As you know, throughout our history, the energy sector has been a dagger at the heart of pretty much every government, because when it collapses, it brings the governments down. Now, faced with that, we have learned over the 50, 60, 70 years of that experience in my lifetime that we have to diversify the economy. Government after government has been confronted with that problem, and none has solved it. Now, this government is coming at the end of the chain and needs to understand that you can't get away by simply relying on new discoveries of gas and oil and new thrusts into that industry. It is too risky. It is an industry whose incomes are uncertain. And when you match it up against the industries that have more certain income, it is not the source of our deep advantage in our economy and in our engagement with the world. So ultimately, you have to use the resources you get from that, the foreign exchange and so on, to invest in a major diversification and economic restructuring program, examples of which we already have going on in the region. Outside of CARICOM, you have Cayman and the Bahamas and Bermuda outperforming the world. And Bahamas and St. Kitts Nevis have been making some progress in the right direction. St. Kitts Nevis with exports of tertiary education, the Bahamas with financial services exports. And both of them are outperforming Trinidad and Tobago by far without oil and gas. So we have to learn lessons from those kinds of experiences, see that we have to head in the direction of the exploitation of our dynamic advantages, and get our diversification program underway in that sense. Now, I have not heard any announcement reflecting that kind of science. And of course, as I pointed out to you before, all of that would be driven by the way we learn, by the speed with which we learn and so on. So when you understand that, you know we're just sitting on an energy sector knife edge. What is going to happen is if we don't find a quick solution to the gas problem, we're going to run into deep problems with our import capacity. Our import cover will be used up, and we will find ourselves with an economy that is in real crisis. The international agencies, the rating agencies, have told us as much with their negative outlook ratings, both Standard & Poor's and the other one. So we have to be thoughtful about that and learn the lesson that we have to start the process that we are essentially warned about by Standard & Poor's, and Moody's, I think, was the other one, and get started with that work. Now, you can't do that with the system of government you have in place. The job being done in St. Kitts Nevis and in the Bahamas is a partial job. Trinidad and Tobago, coming at the end of that discussion, shouldn't be doing a partial job. We ought to set up our country so that we have a robust learning process at the heart of everything we're doing. And that requires a robust conversation, a proper conversation. So authoritarian government is not going to get us where we have to go. Project number one is to clean up the structure of the government so they could hear from you.
Yeah.
And then we go from there. But, that takes more than we have proven ourselves able to do
Well, I was going to ask a question along that line, Dr. James. Do you see this government capable of doing exactly what you're suggesting there based on their style so far?
Let's put it this way. Ultimately, the responsibility is that of the citizen. So any government can be brought to heel if we have enough of the knowledge and the politics and so on. So it's not the government's responsibility to set up the country properly. It's that of the citizen. It's all of us, as we proved in 1970. We can change the direction in which the country is going by our active involvement in defining and demanding where we want to go, the kind of future we want as citizens. The reason I don't say no to you, Sir Charles, when you ask me to come on your show, is because I too have a responsibility to bring the science so the conversation can be robust and sound. Every citizen shares that kind of responsibility. It's not a responsibility for the professors. As Joker Devine pointed out, it's not a responsibility for the politicians, it's a responsibility for all of us. So yeah, any government could do it. Remember in 2024, the early 2025, Rowley made a big gambage about it and then abandoned the idea. Mm-hmm. Well, that same thing this government has to confront, because if it doesn't do it, it is going to continue to govern as we have for 70 years, since 56, since the PNM's foundation years. We have been governing by guess. We had the third brightest man in the world and the economy still collapsed. In 8 years, you don't want to forget, you're too young maybe to know, but I remember in 8 years after independence, we were in the streets marching as a young teacher in 1970. So the system that we are running, you have bucketeers, they can't hear, and you need to put something in place to hear. That conversation is not going to take place until we have defined the politics required, looking beyond race, looking beyond island. We have to sit down, patiently work through all the technicalities and set up a country rigged up for success. If we can't do that agenda, and I think we can, but if it turns out that our politicians are learning too slowly and we the citizens are too dependent psychologically on political leadership and so on, then we're going to be in this kind of mess for a long, long time.
Well,
we as well learn.
Well, how do we do that? Because you mentioned putting aside the politics of race and so on. How do we do that, Dr. James, in light of the fact that we are so politically and racially divided, more than we probably have ever been? How do we do that? You understand? And especially with a government, clearly, that has decided to rule under state of emergency. How do we, the people, make our voices heard?
Well, how do I make my voice heard? I respond to you. How do you get your voice heard? You do what you're doing, and we all can. The point is that the conventional channel of a political party is just one kind of channel. You need to do more of what you're doing, get more of the access that you need to the kind of science that I do and others, and make that public and make that a central part, like you're doing this morning, of your normal broadcast. So there's continuous learning. The key is the speed of learning. The politicians, the same way. Look, we can't dispense with the idea that we are a racially balanced society. There is no way you get away from that. But within each of these blocks, I have friends on both sides of these so-called racial blocks, cultural blocks maybe more so. And there are a lot of sensible, thoughtful, scientific people on all sides. Now, you've got to be talking to them, sharing information. You can't shut down your phone. You've got to be calling and saying, boy, look, Louis, sit down and talk, and so on. And just like we did in 1970, we just got up. This was something that was seeding in the university system and in the high schools. Since I went to high school in 1965, it took about 5 years before it matured into a real conversation in the streets that we translated into the notion of power to the people. So change is not tomorrow morning. You have to invest in it in the information sharing process and so on. And bit by bit, we learn. The faster, the better. It's not impossible.
Yeah. Dr.
But
James,
are the politicians interested and understanding that dynamic has to change? Are they interested in learning, I suppose, is the simple question. Because a lot of times our politicians rule as if they know, and almost with an arrogant, autocratic style that we know what we're doing and this is what we're doing, rather than what you are talking about, Dr. James, that issue of resetting the society in a particular kind of way.
We taught the PNM that in the end, the voters are the deciders. So we kicked out the PNM for that same kind of blockheadedness. And the fate of every government in my lifetime has been the same. Somebody, sometime along the way, has to wake up and learn. And at the start of that process, at the bottom end of that process, is you and me and every citizen participating. We won't agree on everything, but if we are actively involved rather than waiting for something called government or somebody called the politician to deliver, then we have a real shot. Because remember, the learning comes from involvement. You don't learn if you're not involved. So politicians can be made to learn. Now, the government, the process by which voting teaches lessons is slow. So what we are talking about is a kind of way of accelerating that process. And as I was pointing out before, the only way forward, you just got to slug patiently. Do what you're doing. Open your station to thoughtful, scientific information. Invite people like myself. I have to be willing, be doing the research to bring to share. It's a social process. Social processes are slow, but they're not defined by God to be failures. So we just keep going, and you never know. The next round will create an opening. Meanwhile, we have to sing in the ears of the current government. The authoritarian rule process has not worked for 70 years and will never work. So it's time for you to wake up and smell that coffee.
Yeah. Dr. James, because the time is just running so quickly, I just want to get to the Auditor General report, because I know it's outside there. People are talking about it. And I just want to find out, in your view, what would you consider be some of the most important takeaways from what has been presented, or concerns that you think that citizens should be looking at?
Well, the report has two sides from my scholarly view. One side is the usual complaining. People look to the Auditor General's report to see what scandal they got bust. That's what mark they got bust. So they reported plenty of things that the Auditor General is not satisfied with. And some of them make for discouraging reading, like the airport terminal in Tobago, and the fact that you're not providing records on which spending could be verified and justified, and we can have a good understanding of the value for money that we are spending every year, and so on. That's the standard part of the report. The thing that worries me most about the report is that it provides evidence, strong evidence too, that the rating agencies are right. The country is heading in the wrong direction, and some serious maneuvers are needed urgently to change course. And the evidence of the wrong direction is very compelling. One piece of evidence, for example, is that the energy sector, the oil companies, contributed about $5 billion of $46.6 billion revenue flow. far below what they used to contribute long ago. So that's a warning sign right there, because remember, along with that comes your supply of foreign exchange. And the government has had to be borrowing more and more, so that in this last fiscal year, the government borrowed $10.7 billion and drew down $2.8 billion from the HSF in order to cover the deficit created by the gap between $65.5 billion of spending and the earnings of $46.6 billion. So we're living above our means, essentially, if you take it, the means as the revenues, and we're borrowing to consume. We're not borrowing to invest, we're borrowing primarily to consume. Now, that's a dangerous game to play in the volatile economy that we're running with oil and gas. Now, the other thing that you want to bear in mind here is that the Auditor General's data tells us that we can fool ourselves into thinking that we have a fiscal deficit of about 3.1% of the GDP. That's what their data shows. Total revenue of 60 billion, total spending of 65 billion, and so on. So you're about where the world says you ought to be from a managerial deficit point of view. But when you look at the primary deficit that I just gave you data on, that's a $18.9 billion primary deficit. And that's trouble. That's the hidden dagger that comes from our failure to diversify our economy. So the evidence there is we're not in good shape. Standard & Poor's and them were right. And let me give you some more pieces of data that the Auditor General's report drew to my attention. One of them is that we're growing at about 0.8%. That's less than 1% every year. In this last fiscal year, 0.8%. But our debt grew by 6.7%, borrowing.
Yeah.
Now, if you think about that, what you're doing here.
Unsustainable.
It's unsustainable. It's exactly the point. And the service payments on the debt. Remember, when you get debt, you have to pay your interest and pay your principal back. 4.2%. So your growth rate of your economy is not allowing you to keep up with the rising obligations from your debt. Quite right. The correct way to think about it is that it is not sustainable. Debt is going to take over your economy, and your interest payments are going to drive out all other useful payments for your economy, including your inside the economy. That's a knife edge. That's trouble.
So, Dr. James, an inflated cabinet, increasing public servant expenditure every month. A lot of these developmental projects, they're just going to be putting us further into a hole.
Yeah, if you do it the way we're doing it now, and you simply make the commitments for political reasons, and you do not say to those we are paying, okay, well, let's make an investment in turning our society around. We're going to pay you 10% more. And then what we're going to do is we're going to get started down the road of real diversification. We're going to change up the occupation structure in the government. Let me tell you, from the evidence published by the CSO that I have been analyzing over the last year and a half, 2.5% of the occupations in the public sector are occupations that are either creative or supportive of creativity. Now, if you look in the creative industries alone, that's about 20-something%. So the government is completely ill-equipped to drive diversification and drive development. No matter what people say about what they want to do, government is not designed to do it. So we have to reconfigure the government to be able to get it to lead that process. Let me tell you something else that you don't know. The evidence we analyzed for the national economy over the last 54 years, last year, we got a chance to do that detailed analysis, proves to you that government policy is the main barrier to the diversification agenda. And you, as soon as I explain it to you, you'll understand. The main industries that will drive diversification would be education that's exportable, healthcare that's exportable, the creative industries, financial services, and so on. You have to produce and export those. Now, you grew up here. No government you know of, and even the people of the country, do not think of producing education for export. They think you're educating Trinidad and Tobagonians. Not true.
Mm-hmm. True.
So government's policy says do not export education, but the economics tells you you have to export education. You have to produce tertiary education for export in the way St. Kitts Nevis is doing. Now, take healthcare. That's one of the major areas where we use the finest capabilities we have and can provide and develop proper solutions we've thought through already that would allow you to export healthcare on a tourism platform, for example. Kind of what we had in mind with the Children's Hospital in Couva and so on. You have to do that properly. But of course, you don't have any fantastic tourism in Couva, so you kind of have to link it to what we're doing in the rest of the country and in Tobago and so on. But if you understand how we think about healthcare, government's whole notion of healthcare and the countries is healthcare for us. Mm-hmm. There is no organized, structured notion of exportable healthcare in the way we think about exportable oil and gas. That's not how we think. So when you look at the structure of government policy, and the same for the financial services, and even the way we approach the creative industries, it's all focused on local demand. That has to change. That is not changing because of the nature of government policy. So we have to learn that. Now, we have to learn that change is required. Now, if you understand that, then you could see how critical the nature of government policy itself is, and therefore the tasks you give public servants to do will have to change. You have to say, we're going to pay you, okay, but here's the work. We got to build a viable economy, and we need you to step up to the plate and tackle these kinds of problems. Now, how do you get governments to understand that? That goes back to the original conversation.
Before we go, Dr. James, how would you rate this government 1 out of 10? 1 being the lowest and 10 being the highest after their first year?
Well, I wouldn't think of their rating that way. They have to learn. They're not learning. The evidence is they're saying they're willing to do the right thing. And the whole society sits back and waits on the government to do something. Now, I view the government as all of us. I don't view the government as the cabinet. So we are all learning too slowly. That includes the cabinet, of course. But that's
like a big fat zero, Dr. James.
No,
that's like a big fat zero.
No. I would truly. I honestly, I wouldn't have given even Rowley. I wouldn't give a zero.
We got Rowley.
Yeah. No. We can learn, and it's just that all of us have to be involved in the learning process rather than one small clique. In other words, you can't run the thing as an authoritarian system and expect to learn enough. So that's where I think there is the failing. The Prime Minister said when she took power, she wanted to talk to everybody. She doesn't have a system in place to do that conversation. She needs to think a little bit about that.
Yeah. Dr. James, my final question to you is that, with all that we have discussed, we talk about slow growth, we talk about rising debt, structural challenges and stuff like that. Are you optimistic, or are you more concerned about the future of Trinidad and Tobago at this point in time?
Well, I go about my business every day fighting the battle you fight, which is to develop the information and share it with the society. I am an eternal believer in the greatness of the people of Trinidad and Tobago. Just like we proved in 1970, we could do it all again. So I just keep putting my shoulders to the wheel. I don't view that as optimism or pessimism. You have work to do every day. You get up, do your work, and you share the information with your fellow citizens. And I'm in a pretty decent position to do that, so I keep doing it to the best of my ability.
Dr. Vanus James, we really want to thank you for, taking the time and sharing your expertise with us this morning. It's greatly appreciated.
Thanks, Sir Charles.
Yes. And we haven't talked Tobago yet, so we have you back definitely.
Exactly. Shout me anytime.
No
All
problem.
right.
Thank you very much.
Dr. James.
Very good, kid.
All right. All right. Of course, that was Dr. Vanus James, the economist, weighing in on some very important issues, All right. Good.
And there's so many things that we really wanted to talk about. You see how the time is just go?
Yeah, it's just go, It's just go.
and sometimes I'm watching it going and I'm saying, okay, and that's why I say, look, jump in here. Anyhow, we are going for our 8 o'clock news. It's very late this morning, but we will be back after that to talk with you and take your calls, right? So stay with us on The Breakfast Show on NETT Radio.
The news you need, the clarity you deserve. Local, regional, global. This is NETT Radio News Now.
This is News Now for Wednesday, the 29th of April on New Era TT Radio, NETT Radio, and Gael Caribbean TV. I am Derek McMillan. So glad that you can join us. Slain municipal police officer Anuska Eversley was remembered as a dedicated and courageous officer during her funeral service in San Fernando. Senior Superintendent Wayne Muhammad described her killing as an evil act, saying she served with honor and made the ultimate sacrifice while on duty. Eversley was murdered on April 19th at the San Fernando Municipal Police Station, where firearms and ammunition were also stolen. Family, friends, and colleagues paid tribute to her warmth, professionalism, and commitment, as her brother recalled her as loving, fearless, and always willing to help others. Mayor Robert Parris also condemned the killing and called for greater responsibility in public discourse. 3 men have since been charged with her murder, as investigations continue and officers remain suspended. Assistant Commissioner of Police Wayne Mystar says his priority as head of the Municipal Police Service is to stabilize the organization and rebuild trust following a major crisis. Mystar, appointed after the removal of former head Surendra Sakram Singh, steps in days after the murder of Officer Anuska Eversley and the reported theft of firearms at the San Fernando Municipal Police Station. He says morale within the service is low, and restoring confidence among officers and the public will be critical. Mystar also plans to improve communication, strengthen oversight, and clarify the role of municipal police officers. He says he will meet officers across the country and take a hands-on leadership approach. 3 men have already been charged in Eversley's killing. Shamfa Cudjoe Lewis has been elected political leader of the PNM Tobago Council and says her first priority will be rebuilding the party through a major membership drive. Cudjoe Lewis secured 63% of the vote in Sunday's internal election, defeating Kelvon Morris, as independents also claimed key executive positions. She says the focus now will be on revitalizing party groups and expanding support while promoting unity within the organization. The former Tobago West MP says she intends to work with all candidates, including Morris, as the party moves into a rebuilding phase. PNM political leader Penelope Beckles has welcomed the result, praising Cudjoe Lewis's experience and leadership. She now automatically becomes one of the party's deputy political leaders. The Housing Development Corporation has cleared a major legal hurdle after successfully defending 11 complaints over a multi-billion-dollar housing project. The challenges brought by NH International sought to contest its exclusion from a procurement process for 3,700 housing units valued at more than $3.4 billion. However, the Office of Procurement Regulation dismissed all 11 applications, ruling they did not meet the required legal standards. The HDC says the decision allows it to move forward with efforts to address the country's housing shortage. Maintaining the process was conducted in the public's interest. Housing Minister Philip Edward Alexander has also pledged transparency as the program progresses. A separate probe into the awarding of the contracts is still ongoing. Senator David Naked was robbed of cash and valuables in a brazen daytime break-in in Cascade. Police say around 4:15 p.m. on Monday, Naked parked his vehicle at a supermarket car park and went inside. Just 2 minutes later, he returned to find a rear window of his Mercedes-Benz smashed. Checks revealed $10,000 in cash, along with high-end perfumes and personal items, including bank and ID cards, had been stolen. The incident was reported to Belmont Police, and investigations are ongoing. In regional news, Barbados and Venezuela have agreed to strengthen bilateral ties with new cooperation in energy, trade, and agriculture. Prime Minister Mia Mottley held talks with visiting Venezuelan acting president Delcy Rodriguez, with both leaders signaling expanded collaboration. Rodriguez said Barbados is being invited to invest in Venezuela's oil and gas sector, with plans to boost hydrocarbon production and secure future energy supply. Both countries also discussed renewable energy projects, including solar panel manufacturing and joint investment in clean energy. Mottley said the partnership is critical amid global energy uncertainty, noting Venezuela's long-standing role in supporting the Caribbean. The two nations also agreed to deepen cooperation in agriculture and food security, with further talks expected. Finally, in international news, the United Arab Emirates government has announced it will leave OPEC effective May 1st, in a move expected to weaken the oil cartel's global influence. The UAE, one of OPEC's largest producers, has long pushed back against production quotas, arguing they limited its ability to expand output after heavy investment in capacity. Analysts say the exit reflects both economic ambitions and growing tensions with Saudi Arabia, the group's leading producer. Despite the decision, experts say there may be no immediate impact on global oil markets, as supplies are already constrained by conflict in the Middle East. The UAE says it will gradually increase production in line with market demand as it pursues a broader energy strategy. And that is Net Radio News at this time. Stay with us for more great programming on the other side of the break.
That was news now. Stay informed with New Era TT Radio. Net Radio.
S&H Rumbox, 137 Western Main Road, St. James, for all your retail and wholesale needs for alcohol and non-alcoholic beverages. Call us at 686-0599 or visit us at 137 Western Main Road, St. James. S&H Rumbox, drinking out of the box.
Are you taking care of your sexual health and overall well-being? At Total Image and Dr. Raj Adult Boutique, we believe your confidence, wellness, and intimacy matter. Visit us at our convenient locations: 10 Carmody Street, St. Augustine, Edinburgh, Chaguanas, Shops of Daybay, 95 Circular Road, Vistabella, Docks Ranch Lightpole 51, SS Aaron Road, Penal, and Metro Hotel, Suite 1, Number 2 Knoll Street North, Couva. From relaxing massage services to professional guidance on sexual wellness, we are here to support you every step of the way. Consult with renowned sexologist, Dr. Raj Ramnanan, for expert advice tailored to your needs. Take the first step toward a healthier, more confident you. Call 285-9739 or 645-4543 to book your appointment today. Total Image and Dr. Raj Adult Boutique, where wellness meets confidence.
Advertise with us on New Era TT Radio, the fastest growing streaming platform for talk in Trinidad and Tobago. Audio and video ads welcome. Elevate your brand with us. Connect with us at newerattradio@yahoo.com or call us at 299-5156. Now what are you waiting for?
Port of Spain, a scandal in Citrus is finally back. We know you've been waiting, and we are finally back at Central Bank Auditorium for 2 nights only, on Saturday the 2nd of May at 8:30 p.m. and Sunday the 3rd at 6:30 p.m. Scandal in Citrus is back. Box office at Central Bank Auditorium opens on Monday 27th April, 12 noon to 6 p.m. daily. Tickets also available at usual outlets and online. Kick stress out of your life.
Stress, get away from me!
Scandal in Citrus. Do not miss it.
Scandal in Cedrus.
Join me, Brother David Muhammad, every Tuesday from 6 p.m. to 8 p.m. here on New Era TT Radio, Net Radio, Powerful Radio. Join me to hear knowledge, wisdom, and understanding. Tuesdays, 6 p.m. to 8 p.m. here on New Era TT Radio, Net Radio.
All right, everybody. So we are back with you inside of the final session here on the Breakfast Show on Net Radio. It is a Wednesday, and we're happy to be here with you. And we want you to stay with us. We got so much more for you. So we spoke with Dr. Vanus James in the last hour there. You know, took us a little much inside of this hour, but that is how it goes sometimes.
Yeah, it happens, you know. He speaks slow and methodically, so you know that's sometimes that causes interviews to be stretched out, you know. But he spoke on a wide range of issues that, but we want to get him back, of course, to talk about Tobago and what's been happening in Tobago.
Yeah.
Of course, I was watching the Sham for Kojo thing. You know, a lot of the people who contested on the team with Kelvin Morris won. Strange, eh?
Serious?
Yeah, his
okay.
team had most of the winners that made up the executive. You know,
balance.
Yeah, interesting. But of course, 1 year later, Dr. James, I know he avoided rating the government between 1 and 10, and what he said.
You know, he's a professional, so he's not going to go down that road. You know.
Yeah.
But
other people rating the government, Charles?
Other people like that him. He's an individual and he's a one and he's a single. He's not following the crowd. You understand? Yeah, he's saying.
But what he said, if translated to a big fat zero. That's how I interpret it.
Well, that is you see, and there you go again. You're trying to lead the man in a direction that you want to go. So we asking Wendell Stevens now. So Wendell Stevens, how would you rate the government's performance in the first year?
I agree with with the analyst Shane about the best performing ministers. But he said
answer the question. You see how you're on all thing. You know, answer the question.
One. No, I
from 0 to
10. All right. For what they've done in some areas of local government and what they've done with that immigration and customs, I'll give them a 4 out of 10.
Okay.
Because the other parts where so many people losing their jobs, the crime, the economy. I mean, a lot of people have probably getting bigger salaries now and so on. That's all well and good. But then they're faced with so many increases otherwise. You know, something that no population prepared for. You know what I mean? So I give them a 4.
All right.
They pass. That's the impasse. 4 out of 10 is not a pass.
Well, I see the opposition leader herself had given a rating also. You know, which I find was cool. I'm kind of like,
I think it's true.
Yeah. But I'm liking that she takes a kind of balanced look, and it's not big. She's not just opposing for opposing sake.
Mm-hmm.
You know, so hats off. I've been watching her for the last couple of weeks. Yeah. She's doing well. But just before we go back to the lines, you see this whole situation that people are talking about with this Broach situation and Guyana and stuff. I am not brushing it off as it is nothing, and it's nothing that is worth talking about. I think Guyana has a very serious or legitimate, if people want to call it, noise that they are making concerning this whole situation, and because it is a kind of and I think in the letter to CARICOM they sent to CARICOM, you know, they said that it's a kind of quiet acquiescence to something that is happening, and they don't take it lightly that somebody who wants to take their space is trying to normalize that by putting it out front when they come in to talk to people in CARICOM.
Yeah, but Sir Charles, you can't say it's Ghana's space either. They're coming up for a decision, I think, on May 4th. They will decide. We can't say whose space it is because Venezuela laying claim to it, Ghana laying claim to it. Let whoever court or whoever it is decide. We can't say that it is Ghana.
But I think some parts of it also has already been decided that they rightfully own the space. You know, I know there are some outstanding situations, but I know they have gone to certain international tribunals and stuff which has ratified them in this space. You know, so. So I don't see it as people are saying this is nothing and that sort of thing. They see it as trying to normalize something, and I think they have all rights to make noise.
About a brooch, Sir Charles?
No, you see, that's what you're saying. You see, you would have seen the brooch. You know what that brooch is? That comes just like when the other day everybody was talking about the commissioner of police with the
No, you're comparing.
It's one because it symbolizes something when you might say the brooch is small and you have to look at it. But no, it symbolizes something, and Guyana sees it in that kind of way. They're saying that you're trying to normalize a claim visually and diplomatically so, and what Guyana is trying to do is trying to block that normalization from happening. Where people start
if Miss Rodriguez was wearing that brooch on everything she had on everywhere she go, then I would say she is clearly sending a message. You understand what I'm saying? But if she wear the brooch once, I mean, nobody has ever seen her with that brooch before. If she wear it once with Barbados, maybe it suited the dress. Sometimes you don't know women how they fashionable, how they like this to match that.
I am not disputing how
fashionable. Some men like that too.
Yeah, but
they like to match. They just change clothes morning. They taking off clothes, putting it on. This ain't looking good with that. There are people so
it could be very strategic to Wenda because somebody make that brooch which to signify that we are in control of that place.
Well, yeah.
You understand? And Guyana is saying, no, they're not in control. So every time it raises its head, Guyana is going to protest. And I think they have a legitimate
well, she might just not wear the brooch again because I think she wants to do business with certain people, and if the brooch going to cause a problem in Guyana, then fine, she will not wear the brooch. You understand? That's how I see it. Because at the end of the day, you think America? I mean, if Guyana hoping America get involved in that and tell Delcy don't wear that brooch again, they have a better thing coming.
No, I think that
America might put Guyana on the map just now.
Yeah, well, the way America going, America might put everybody on the map just now in that space. The Caribbean might be owned by America just now. You understand? Yeah. But, but anyhow,
I just find me majoring in minors. That's all.
Well, as I said, that's why I was saying to Dr. James also. While heads of CARICOM have their things to do, and CARICOM kind of responded, which I find was very quick that the head of CARICOM responded, and he basically he basically agree with what Guyana was saying, but he was saying to CARICOM countries and stuff, and we have to already look out for our own too, so he basically was actually kind of cautioning those kinds of things and those kinds of meetings happen like that kind of thing. So it's not to say that he did not, and CARICOM did not recognize that there's a problem, but of course they're not treating it in the way that we just go in and kick down all the cans. They're dealing in a much more diplomatic language, but clearly they do support what Guyana is saying from what he said. Anyhow, let's go to the lines. Let's take your calls, 281-1315 and 299-5156. Good morning.
Morning, gentlemen, gentle people.
Morning.
You guys? I really enjoyed that interview, and Wendell, I must give you an A+ this morning. I really have to give you an A+ this morning, whether you want to accept it or not. Okay?
I'm taking anything.
I'm wondering You have me wondering if you're one of those QRC students. I don't know if that's...
No, I didn't go QRC. My son went to QRC. I didn't go. I went St. James Secondary School.
All right, but let me tell you something, right? The question that you asked him, the very last question was the top question of the morning. I love that question. The one, how do you rate them?
Yes.
And what was nice is that how you picked up his answer that he was saying 0 so quickly. That was so amazing. You know?
Yeah, I interpret it as a big fat 0, and that's how you interpret it?
Correct, and you picked it up quickly. Also, I wanted to say the reason I voted number 1 this morning, when you all put the poll out, my neighbor, who is a silent listener, he's an American, he's a police detective here in Florida, in Orlando, and he was listening. So I called him and he said the reason why it should be the bank, you should vote 1, because he said the bank is responsible because it ended in the parking lot wherever he went, but it began in the bank. Somebody was in the bank watching him, monitoring this guy, and obviously followed him, right? So the thing is, the bank needs to put up do a better surveillance to see all who is there. They're sitting around in the parking lot in a parked car. So these are the things the bank needs to do.
Captain Ron, you just take a pin. You raised an important point there that we didn't explore, because David Naked, I guess because of who he is, got access to footage from the bank's car park to the car park that he ended up in, the grocery, right? Now, an ordinary citizen probably would not have had access to that. He got access to it that showed that the people were actually at the bank car park. Now, the bank, after they leave the car park, I don't know how the bank could do that unless they call him and say, hey, it looked like somebody following you. So I hear that. Thanks for raising that.
So that's what my friend told me. I'm not taking credit for that. My police friend said that. He said what they do, they have these AI cameras right now. They can pick up plates and see if they're wanted by police. Mm-hmm. Or if it's a stolen plate, AI can detect if it's the wrong plate on the wrong vehicle. Somebody changed plates on the vehicle. Mm-hmm. AI can be very helpful in many different areas. So the thing is, the banks are very responsible to who is monitoring their customers coming in and out of the bank.
Yeah. So
that's the bank's responsibility. They can help there. All right.
Yes.
It's like Wendell is like, you tell me, hey, Ron, listen, there's a guy over there waiting for you at the corner. Be careful. And I didn't take heed to what you told me.
Yeah.
I'm responsible then. You know. So your guy is a good one. Wendell, well done this morning, man. Love you.
Thanks, Captain Ron. But you know what he just said there? I think that did come out in the news in terms of him observing that the people were actually at the bank car park, and then that same vehicle showed up where he was at the grocery. You understand? But how does a bank respond to that? Because they won't know that when the person drives off, that they actually following a particular person to alert that person.
Yeah.
You understand?
Even if a security officer feels that way, he, what does he actually do? I wonder why if them fellas and I was waiting on this man, boy, or the, it's a lot really to really comprehend it.
Yeah. But it shows also too that that Naked was confident last night in the news that they would be caught because of being able to be identified from the bank to the grocery.
Probably, yeah.
So I hope they are, for his sake. Well, not for his sake, for everybody's sake.
For everybody's sake.
It can't be the first walk they put on.
No,
Well, let me hope it's the last.
Let's hope so. Hello, good day to you, caller.
Yes, Mr.
Morning, Trinidad.
Morning, Mr. Patrick.
Mr. Wendell and Mr. Richard, morning. Trinidad and Tobago last morning. I listened to Mr. Vanus James this morning, and he talked about listening and this and that and that, and government listening. You know, to my recollection, government don't listen to people until they have a revolution. Oh, you know that?
Go ahead.
Huh?
Well, that's basically what he was talking about. In a kind of way, he was referring to 1970. Yeah.
That's what the man was saying.
Yeah.
Government don't listen to people. You feel government don't listen to you after you vote for them?
Yeah.
The government don't listen. They listen to the capitalists. The people who have the money. They listen to the people who run things, who rather give the $1 billion contract. Them is the people that listen to.
It's only when poor people or the lower strata hit the streets, and that is why civil rights movements and all kind of thing get us.
Then people that listen.
Yeah.
So
you can't do that now. SOE in retail, we can't do that now.
But you can't protest. you can't talk on the radio, but you haven't got it. They might come up in your house. Yeah, sir. I ain't telling the child what you doing in a program, bringing people and talk. But when you come in there, there's only so much you could talk. You understand? You can't talk serious things, but serious things outside it. You understand? So I understand what the guy was saying. Because in 1970, they had it. 1990, they had it. You understand? And even after all that, the government them still listen.
Okay. Thank you very much, Mr. Patrick. Mr. Martin.
Good morning, guys.
Morning.
I gave this government a C grade for sending home all those workers as they came in office. They come in like a demolition squad. Have so much people unemployed and still people losing their work. I mean, when you talk, I talking to a lady in Bagatelle, she say that children in her area and go to schools in school open. Oh God, yes. So I give them a C.
Miss Henry, Miss Diego Martin, give us a grade between 1 and 10 because we will ask that question tomorrow. Give us a grade between 1 and 10.
I give them a 4.
4, all right. You see, you give them the same thing I give them. All right.
Yes, I give them a 4. Let's be fair. I want to commend the nurses this morning who work at the Diego Martin Health Center. I visited there yesterday and they was out there working. So nurses at the Diego Martin Health Center, thank you for your service. And they kept the 2 service running because they have 2 times. They have a clinic in the evening from 4. Because I thought with this protest they would not have the 4 o'clock clinic, and they had the 8 o'clock clinic and the 4 p.m. clinic. So nurses, thank you for your service, and I hope you all get what you're requesting. I hope the government give you your new salary. It is ridiculous that somebody could be working on 2013 salary. And as the guy said this morning, if a nurse don't come, you can walk off the job and say, I gone. They have to sit down there. And if they have to go till the next shift, they will have to. So thank you, nurses, once again. You'll have a blessing.
Yeah, okay. Thank you very much, Ms. Henry.
If you all want to quickly put your grades in the chat, you could do so. Right? How do you rate the government between 1 and 10?
You said I small poll.
No, it's not. We can't do it as a poll because it'll be different numbers.
Oh.
You understand? But we could do it as something in the chat.
Okay. Yeah. Understand.
You know? Yeah.
All right.
Everybody want to put it in the chat, right?
All right.
And I'll read it.
Morning, gentlemen. I want to address Ms. Diego Martin, I believe, before I make a point. Ms. Diego Martin, you value your contribution. You contradicted yourself this morning. You can't, and it ties right back into what Mr. Trinity said. You can't want to be comfortable and get results. You can't be thanking the nurses for showing up, but want them to get the salary. And then, because it all ties back into what Mr. Trinity said, nothing happens without protest. So this morning you should have been upset. You should have been upset with the nurses for showing up and willing to take the sacrifices that they should have been out there protesting. They should have not shown up to work yesterday if you really wanted them to get the 2013 salary increase. You follow what I'm saying, gentlemen, right now?
Yeah.
But they had a protest on yesterday?
Yes, they had a protest on yesterday, but what Ms. Diego Martin is saying is that Diego Martin nurses showed out to work. And I'm saying, if you really wanted them to get this salary, if you really cared about them getting the increase, you should have been willing to take that sacrifice and been upset for them why they didn't go out and protest this morning.
Well, maybe
but
not.
That's the point
Go ahead.
That's the point I really called to make. The point I really called to make is for the morning poll question this morning. That morning poll question this morning was very loaded and very skewed, right? It has a yes and no answer. Yes, the bank could do something. One of the things that the bank could do, which is one of the things that I agreed with Superintendent Alexander on the Beyond the Tape program for talking about, was that when you have large sums of money, this machine that they bring out in front of the cashier and they run in it through is a telltale sign that that person has plenty money, and now all they need is one person in the bank and two drivers in the vehicle to commit the robbery. One person just calling the two drivers in the car park to say, hey, a man with a green shirt and a thing, he has money. Right? So that is one of the things that the bank could do to protect the citizens. Either they take them to a private room, either they find a quieter machine, or do something else to validate the money in the thing. Because definitely
you missed our conversation this morning.
We
talked about that.
Yeah, we talked all of that. Yeah, we talked all of that.
That same machine.
The program this morning.
Yeah.
So that is what the bank could do. But after leaving the bank's compound, because Mr. Naki didn't get robbed in the bank car park, he got robbed in another car park, that he chose to leave his valuables, which is another thing Superintendent Alexander and the Beyond the Tape program have been talking about for years. Do not leave valuables in your vehicle.
Mm-hmm.
You understand? So I blame Naked for his situation. You can't take all that kind of money and leave it in your car. Are you mad?
Yeah, but it all depends too. I mean, like if you leave it visible on your seat and that kind of thing, but if you secure it in your trunk and thing, you know.
All of this, and you see, I am a former protective service member, and because I am so security conscious, whenever I have to do that kind of transactions in the bank that I need cash, I just be like a little child when I come out of the bank. My head on a swivel, and I run from the bank to my car to wherever I need to go. I don't be going in car park, and going in mall, and going in here, and going wherever I need to deposit our money, I go and I put it one time. You understand? You have to be more vigilant and take responsibility for your actions when you're doing this kind of transaction in this day and age. I don't play when I have money on me. When I have money on me to do something, I go straight and I do it. There's no lagging in between, no stopping my girlfriend, no going by this one, no going in and pay light bill, and I would get to that. No. Right?
All right. Okay.
So the bank can be responsible for that. You have to be responsible for that.
Yeah. Okay, cool. No problem. Thanks very much, Lincoln.
There's so many things that people need to do in terms of protecting themselves. I mean, there's no hard and fast rule, you understand? But we've always heard it. Do not leave valuables exposed in your car. Do not leave it.
I think one of the things that you have to do, you have to be aware. So, like, if you go to the bank or any place and you're coming out, scan the area, look and see maybe vehicles. When you drive out, look and see if anybody coming out behind you. If you drive high up the street or you're turning in a place and you say, well, wait, now that same car following me. You have to be that kind of vigilant outside here. Is wrong. Everybody had to be a kind of police and detective.
You have to be your own police. You have to be.
Crime is of opportunity, as I said. These bandits are not stupid. You understand? So, as Lincoln said, if a man believe that you have money, wherever, if he following you, wherever you stop, he going to take. So whether you went in the mall or you went home, he would have followed you because you have money. So that is the long and short of it all.
And when people pull up sometimes by places, it don't hurt to remain in your locked vehicle and survey your surroundings first before you come out. It don't hurt. You understand? Don't just jump out. Remain in the vehicle and survey your surroundings. You know what I mean?
But because of the crime situation in Trinidad and Tobago, the way it is too, try and see as much as possible if you could do things online now.
Online, yeah.
Don't keep online. Transfer money online, you know, especially when with that amount of cash and stuff. If you have a little $300, $400, $500 to get somebody, fine, you know what I mean? Yeah, but thousands and that kind of thing, try and do it online, man. There's so much different cards and all kind of thing now. Try all your best. Dabadi, good morning.
Good morning, Sir Charles.
Hi, Dabadi.
Good morning, Wendell and Richard. You know, I always say, don't care what you have in your car. It could be a little envelope or those utility bills anywhere in your car. Somebody will peep through.
Don't leave nothing
see
visible.
it and break a glass,
Yeah.
thinking it's money.
Mm-hmm.
You don't even the children's book bag. I don't let them, when they were small, I don't let them leave it and the car seat if coming out of the car, it goes into the trunk. You know? So you have to be vigilant. You can't leave nothing exposed because they don't know what it is. You have there, not valuable things, but they don't know that. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
That's true.
You know what I see? I see what I spoke about yesterday with the brooch, a scribble map, but from Delcy wearing and Delcy clothes, like it's getting legs. Because now the first guy, Fanali, he has a problem with that, and he has written a curriculum. And I think already, you see the statement that Dr. Drew sent back from CARICOM, I agree with it, each state, each CARICOM territory, they cannot dictate the pace of those people who they're doing business with. That can be something to prevent them from having talks or looking for things from them, benefits or anything like that. So I believe that both thing is another red herring to kind of bring CARICOM as like it ain't nothing. It ain't no value or nothing like that. So as Vanus, Dr. James said this morning, it ain't going nowhere. But I'm surprised our Prime Minister is not yet involved in it, in the discussion. I don't know, I haven't seen it, but I'm surprised that she hasn't put her 2 cents in it, because she put her 2 cents into Trump business in the White House.
She's staying away from that. If the Prime Minister has any sense at all, she will not comment on what Delcy Rodriguez is wearing. Trust me.
But I would prefer she doesn't say anything. But how come is it only when she went to Barbados to say that? Because like all of a sudden, some Trinidadians had loved Mia Mottley 2 years ago. They wish she were our Prime Minister. I have heard them say it, even talk show hosts, I heard say that. Now she's the worst thing on this earth, according to them. But they didn't know that when Delcy went to Grenada, she was also wearing the brooch. But there was no comment. None whatsoever.
Yeah, but it's not Trinidadians making that problem. It's Guyana that is making that noise. It's not we making that noise.
True.
No, I didn't say we, I'm saying that's what I'm saying. When she went to Grenada, the Guyanese people did not say anything about the brooch. She left and gone her way. Is when she visited Barbados. They started commenting. A lot of Guyanese are commenting. Trinidadians, to be concerned.
Maybe that is when they notice
it. Commenting on it.
Maybe that is when they notice it.
All it needs is one person to point it out, and then everybody is jumping the bandwagon. It's an inappropriate brooch. So the brooch was, most people not even paying attention. So they see the brooch and say, nice brooch. I wonder if Antons have that in Eastgate. And then somebody must take a screenshot and zoom it up and say, hey, look the ethical reason, and then everybody jump on the eye goes. And everybody talking about it. Oh God, she was married in Grenada. And it becomes a whole big thing and discussion and CARICOM, all because somebody zoom it up.
Yeah. But what Antons have is ticket for scandal. That's what they have.
No.
Antons are okay.
Boy. Trent City.
Yeah, I was listening to news where the two guys with
you right downstairs by Sir Charles calling or what? How you getting through so quick?
Yeah, you are getting the business. With the two guys that are finding the car burn, right?
Yeah.
And the news says somebody was using the card. You know, I have an observation I observed a little while back. You see, when you're going out and you're lying in restaurants and bars and you pay with card, you have to be observant. There are people watching you too.
Yeah, people watching you all wrong.
People watching you, and the minute you walk out and leave, they could hold you up.
But Mr. Patrick, you're not praying enough, because if you're praying enough, you don't have to study that because Jesus had your back. Not so, Sir Charles?
Who?
And the priest Mr. Patrick, don't take on Richard, you know. Richard just is antagonist against Christians.
They wrap up a preacher rope at the time of his arrival.
Yeah.
So you're saying that priest was not covered by the blood? Is that what you're saying?
Covered by the blood. He need to go confession.
Yes. Don't get involved in that scandal, Richard. No? And Mr. Patrick, thanks much. Yeah. All right, people, we have that point, so go ahead.
Are you talking about that show called Scandal and Cedrus?
That little thing, that little theater thing, that little play thing.
Yeah, that's what we're talking about.
Well, it's on this weekend, Saturday at 8:30 and Sunday at 6:30 at Central Bank Auditorium. Yes, Port Spain, we are back. So Scandal and Cedrus is back. It's stressed. Give yourself a stress-free weekend by coming to the play. It is hilarious. You'll see some of the reports from the show that we held at Cipriani College. I think that'll be coming out today. You'll see that on our social media platform, what people had to say who came over the weekend. But yeah, it's on this weekend. Of course, the box office at Central Bank Auditorium opens from 12 noon to 6 p.m. daily. And of course, all the usual outlets have tickets. K Squared Fashions, West Mall, Eastgates and Brentwood Mall, and Tony's Florals in Valpark Shopping Plaza, Chamfley Auto Services, Jabili Rawe, Tunapuna and Electronics Arima. You can also purchase your tickets online. Go to RSR Productions Theatre on Facebook, Insta, and TikTok for the methodology to accomplish that. But yeah, we're looking forward to a fantastic weekend. Get your tickets early. I keep telling people that. Sometimes people take you and sometimes they don't. But get your tickets early. Tickets have been selling since the Cipriani College show because people who could not get into that show were already purchasing Central Bank tickets at the box office because we had the tickets there at the box office already. So get your tickets early. Looking forward to a fantastic weekend of laughter and stress relief in this troubled world.
Excellent.
All right, folks, have an absolutely wonderful day. Remember to let go and let God. And my brooch is called a Giniami. It's from Ghana. It means accept God. All right? That's what it is. If you have a problem with that, too bad.
Oh, so you have a powerful protection amulet on your around.
Oh, yes.
Yeah.
Oh, yes.
You don't have to study. You could do whatever. You could
and all over my house.
You could walk with your hand so.
You don't have Richard, he don't even have to lock the doors.
Robo Shanta Baba.
He can leave.
A partner, this who listening now, that's what all he just say. He's a demon himself, you know. Bye, folks.
How about that? People remember to smile and laugh. It's great for your health. And of course, netradiott.com continues on the web, and you can listen to all of the excellent programming throughout the day. And of course, Net Radio Trinidad on your smart devices. You can say, Siri, Alexa, okay, Google. Listen to Net Radio Trinidad on TuneIn, and you're good to go. That's all it takes. Yeah. So have a fantastic day, whatever you do. And of course, thank you for joining us today. We know you have a choice, and we're glad that you chose us. This has been
The Breakfast Show.
They're trying.
It's the time to start the day. The Breakfast Show is here. We bring in the soca way. Yeah, 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 yeah. Yeah, 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 yeah. Wake up, it's a brand new dawn. The Breakfast Show got the vibes.